This is case number 39, Your Honor, on the calendar in the matter of Smith versus Bruffett.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Smith, it is your claim that the defendant defrauded you and leading you to believe that you were the father of her child. You want attorney's fees and all kinds of compensatory damages. Ms. Bruffett says that you knew all along that you were not the baby's biological father, and she is counterclaiming for harassment and other stuff. I assume that there was a time that two of you were in a relationship.
Yes.
And when was that?
2001.
Are you asking me? I wasn't there.
No, it was in 2001.
And when was your daughter born?
My daughter was born January 7th, 2001.
Were you together at the time?
Yes.
Yes, we were.
I'm going to go to you. Your answer suggests that Mr. Smith was aware all along that he was not the child's biological father. I'm going to hear your explanation with regard to that.
Yes, he was, Your Honor. We had started dating briefly when we were working together in December.
December of 2000?
99.
December of 99.
Yes. He had left Minneapolis and went to Chicago for what he said would be a brief period of time when we first started dating, in turn being quite a few months.
How many months?
He left towards the end of January of 2000. He did not return until close to the end of April of 2000.
Is that right?
No. Ain't no way Chrissy told me that that little girl was mine, and I signed.
Whether you went to Minneapolis.
No. I was working in Minnesota, so ain't no way I left.
Okay, keep going, Ms. Bruffett.
My child was conceived at the very beginning of April by Matthew Moore. When he returned, it was the end of April. He had known of me and Matthew's relationship, but was
Don't
persistent.
tell me what he knew. Tell me what you said to him.
I had told him that I was in a relationship when he had came back from Chicago. Matthew, in turn, towards the end of May, had left and decided he was moving to Florida, and me and Tyrone had started dating again then. But he knew I told him that I was pregnant before he had came back from Chicago in a phone conversation.
Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am.
Doesn't sound right to me.
No, ma'am.
Keep going.
Okay, up through the pregnancy, we were together, we were dating, all the way up and through my daughter was born. When my daughter was born, he had told me that throughout the whole time that he wanted to be a father to her. He would be that figure because Matthew was not going to return from Florida. Tyrone had told me that he wanted to be the one to step up to the plate. He would take care of her. We would be together. We had plans on being engaged or being married in the future. He had told me then that he didn't want his family to know he wasn't her father because they already did not approve of me and his relationship.
Yana, okay.
So at that point, we had decided that he was going to be her father figure. When she was born, I had told him that I wanted to leave the birth certificate blank in the case that Matthew were to ever return, and that was only fair. And he said that that wouldn't be viable to his family or mine. We argued back and forth about it.
How did this all play out then after 2001? That's what I want to know. Because right now, the child is 6 years old.
Exactly.
And so I want you to tell me, Mr. Smith, what happened 6 years later that brings you to court today?
Well, I was served papers for child support, and I hired myself a lawyer because I wanted to...
Who filed the petition for child support?
No,
did, Your Honor.
She applied for welfare.
No, I didn't, Your
Child
Honor.
support.
I work full-time. I got papers in the mail being served that I was the defendant in a case regarding him taking me to court for visitation, and in turn meaning that he'd have to pay child support in our county in order to have visitation with my child. He brought the action, Your Honor. He is the plaintiff on both of these.
Well, there was a motion in Hennepin County for child support.
That was an action that he brought with
He brought
a
an
visitation.
action for what? For child support? To pay child support?
In our
You
county,
brought an
you have
action
to.
to pay child support, sir?
No.
I never heard of that. I've been a judge for a very long time. See, Miss Bruffett, my problem is he's fighting the child support in this action.
Exactly.
He's fighting it. He doesn't want to pay it. He's saying, listen, I have no money left. You know, I have a 5-month-old baby. I live. Here's my rent. Here's my lease on my apartment. Here's what I earn.
Yep.
I can't afford to pay any more child support, so I don't get the fact that he petitioned the court for child support. Now, why do you keep looking for her, sir?
Ain't nobody looking for Chrissy.
You weren't looking for her?
No.
I have
For what
police reports
reason?
to that effect, Your Honor.
I'd like to see the police report, please. The only indication here that's interesting is he said he wanted to come over to see the child they have in common. And victim, that would be you, advised that he couldn't come over and that he's not supposed to be calling. So he said, I want to come over to see my daughter. And you said he couldn't. You didn't say it's not your daughter.
Ain't no way I called.
Shut.
Okay.
I do also have that actually in a court finding paper that when we were in court in front of a judge for this order for protection 2004, that I was very adamant through all of that she was not his child, and I just wanted him to leave me alone. That's all I've ever asked, is that he just leave us alone.
Sir, what I want to know is why you're here now in 2007 when in 2004 she clearly told you that you were not the father of this child.
Right.
She told you that.
Exactly.
3 years ago.
Yep.
What woke you up now?
What woke me up now was, I don't know, it took
Your Honor, he has been harassing me for 6.5 years.
Yeah,
this is just another form. I'm sorry.
What woke me up, I don't know.
Well, why don't you say something to try to wake me up, sir? She told you at least 3 years ago. Listen to me. At least 3 years ago.
Right.
At least 3 years ago, she insisted before a judge that you are not the father of the child.
Why she didn't let that be known to the child support people then?
Listen, I don't see any of those papers. I mean, you don't have those papers. What you gave me were papers where, in the matter of the child, you are the plaintiff.
Exactly.
You're the plaintiff, not the county. You're the plaintiff.
Otherwise, Your Honor, he have papers to the effect of Hennepin County.
And that's July of 2006.
Exactly.
July 2006.
Listen, if you're going to agree with me once more, I'm going to throw you out and grant this petition. Do you understand?
Okay.
Good. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost too. You got me lost too.
Well, I'm kind of lost too. I mean, you were told by a judge 3 years ago that she says you're not the father of the child. And now you want attorney's fees and court costs and everything else for an attorney that you just hired 3 years later in order to get visitation and have a blood test done, and you want the blood test done. She told you weren't the father.
Yana, I had to hire that lawyer because I didn't have an address. I didn't know how to serve her
Your
her
Honor,
papers.
my address is private from him.
She put an order of protection on me, so ain't no way I can get her address.
Exactly. What did you need her address for?
So she can get served her papers.
What
for
papers?
For
I don't want to hear you. Don't you get it?
To see, visitation.
You know, I don't think that you're worried about him because you keep interrupting him. You know, if you were cowering and worried about him, as you indicate you are in your answer, then you wouldn't be freely contradicting him. Now, when was the last time, Miss Bruffett, that you alleged that Mr. Smith bothered you?
The last incident was the last job that I had to leave because of him when I filed for that last order for protection
Would you give
in 2004.
me the date, please?
It was February of 2004.
Well, that's a long time ago. It's over. Put a period. Finished.
Yes.
Not a good idea, if I believe you, which I'm sort of on the fence about. Not a good idea to insert somebody else's name on a birth certificate that is not biologically related to a child. It confuses the child. Put your hand down. Do you understand?
I do.
Unfair.
I do.
Unfair. Look what happens. She'll go try to get a kidney from him. And what'll happen when she's 18? Ridiculous. Mr. Smith, you are finally free.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Thank you.
I am. I dodged the aunt.
And Miss Bruffett would really like you to leave her alone.
Been there, done that. Long time
And
ago.
I think that you're going to leave her alone.
Oh, yeah. Been there, done that. I got a wife and a son that needs me more than anybody, you know.
Your case is dismissed. It's over. Finished.
Okay.
Put a period. So is yours. Finished. Over. It's dismissed. Goodbye.
Thanks, John.
Parties are excused, sir. Stay here.
This is just, like I said, another form, another way to get at me, another way to find me, seek me out.
Ain't nobody thinking about a big... Come on, now.
I'm sure there'll be something else in the future.
For some attention.
I wish him the best. Hope he's happy with his new family.
Kind of sad because I didn't get the money that I had to pay for that lawyer.
Just leave me alone.
But it's all good.
Fortunately, representing himself as a divorce attorney, she is asking for the return of his fee.
Miss Forsyth, it is your claim that the defendant fraudulently held himself out to be an attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
You gave him money in order to help you procure a divorce from your husband, and the papers were never properly filed, according to you. You want your money back.
Yeah.
Mr. Taylor says that he never told you he was a lawyer. He was trying to help you out and do you a favor, and he did everything that he was supposed to do, and you're entitled to no money back. How did you meet him?
Actually, I had seen one of his signs posted up on a telephone pole.
Can I see it, please?
During the time, I was being evicted, so I originally contacted him to help me with an eviction.
Okay, just a second. Shh. Is this your sign, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. So you called him, and did he help you?
Yes. The eviction went through just fine, just as he promised. And shortly after that, I had contacted him to assist me in my divorce. And he said he could help me out. He did family law.
Did he have an office that you went to previously?
I never went to the office, no. He always came and met me places.
How much did you pay him the first time?
The first time, I believe it was $375.
For the eviction?
For the eviction, yes.
Now, when you called him and told him that you'd had a family law problem, did he indicate to you that he did that sort of work?
Yeah.
What did he say?
On the business card that I had, it listed family law as one of his services.
Do you have a copy of the business card?
I don't have the original business card that he gave me, but I do have a copy.
I'd like to see it. Where did you get this copy from?
On my contract, that address right there, when I went there looking for him when I was trying to get my money back, the leasing manager there, she gave me the copy of that business card. But that's the exact same business card that I had.
You recognize this card?
No, Your Honor, I don't. No.
Is this a copy of your contract, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And, Your Honor, I do have...
This says it is understood by all parties that Inland Valley Legal Service staff members are not practicing attorneys at law.
Yes. I had read that after the fact, and then I saw his card, and I said, well, to myself...
No, you don't have his card. You have something that you claim somebody else gave you, so you can throw that away. That's nonsense.
And Your Honor...
That's nonsense.
But I wanted to prove that he was also giving this business card to other people.
Listen to me. If you had the business card, that would be one thing.
I know.
But you don't.
I lost it.
And this is something that somebody else gave you.
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, if I may...
You may not. I'm not finished yet.
All right.
Now, so what you're telling me is you didn't read this before you signed it?
No, I did. And when I saw his business card that said attorney at law, I presumed, I know that is very wrong, but I presumed that he was the supervising attorney for Inland Valley Legal. And when I confronted him about what it says where his signature is at, the staff representative, why it didn't say attorney at law, he said it was a typographical error that his assistant made.
Your Honor, that's not true.
So, according to this, it says that you're signing on for these people, to paraphrase, to do all the paperwork for you, but they are not lawyers. You understand that they are not lawyers. They cannot represent you in court as lawyers. That you will be appearing pro se, which means yourself. Now, he was supposed to get papers together. Did he get the papers together for you?
He did, and he did not.
Just a second. Got the papers together for you.
Semi.
What do you mean semi? The only thing that wasn't done, according to what I read, was the fact that he prepared the papers for you for your divorce, but your husband is in prison. Is that right? And that it's very difficult to serve someone in prison because you have to go through a whole process. You have to serve the warden of the prison, you have to serve the commissioner of corrections, all of that stuff. That's not something he was doing. That was something he told you to do. That's what he says.
No. That is something he told me to contact the prison, get the information where he needed to send it to, which I did. I told him that it needs to be sent to the litigation coordinator in the prison, and he sends me a proof of service by mail by the third time I went to court and said the first one didn't have the correct address on it, and the second one he had taken in there and wrote in there the rest of the information. And he said he was going to handle all of that for me.
Now I got it. So the problem was that the papers were never properly served on your husband.
Exactly.
And in order for you to be divorced, he has to be properly served.
Of course.
So now let us assume that if she didn't read these papers, that's her problem. That you've clearly made out in the papers that you are a staff representative. That's what it says, not the attorney in charge.
That's right.
She doesn't know how to read. That's not my problem. That's not your problem.
Exactly.
Okay. My problem is you undertook, and I believe her, to have these papers properly served on the defendant. You undertook to do that, at least on 2 separate occasions. What happened?
Well, by me not actually being an attorney during the divorce...
And I want you to understand something, sir. I'm smarter than she is. So if you're going to give me a lot of who shot John,
oh, no,
I'm
going to make it very brief.
Annihilate you.
I'm going to make it very
I'm going to
brief.
annihilate you.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right? So don't try to smooth talk me like you can smooth talk them. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Right? I don't need anything from you, and I don't like you. Do you understand? Because I think that you take advantage of people.
Okay.
But let us see if you took advantage of this lady.
Okay.
Let's go. You tried to serve him once, and you had the wrong address, correct?
No, Your Honor.
Go.
When we went down to the court to file the documents for the divorce, I gave Miss Forsythe all of the copies of the documents in order for her to have her husband served because she informed me that he was incarcerated. I informed her that it would be impossible for me to serve him by him being incarcerated because the only person that would be able to go to the prison would be an actual attorney to see this man.
That's not true.
Well, that was my understanding.
Well, that's why you shouldn't be giving out legal advice, sir. That was your last mistake. That was your last mistake. That was legal advice that you just gave her without looking it up in the books. Because every jurisdiction has a provision for how prisoners are to be served. And you don't have to be his wife in order to serve him.
Exactly.
And you don't have to be his lawyer in order to serve him. That's what you have process service for, or you have proper service that can be done by mail. You may serve in person the commissioner of prisons. You may serve the warden of the prison. Do you understand, sir? So you
Yes,
gave
I
her legal advice. And by giving her legal advice, you practiced law without a license. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Wasn't that simple? How much money did she pay you?
I believe she paid me a total of $325.
How much money did you pay her?
$425, you have the receipts.
$425.
Yes, ma'am.
$425. You have to give that back to her, sir, because by making that simple statement to her, here are the papers, you have to have him served because somebody has to go up there and serve him personally because I can't go up there. You gave her advice, and it was wrong advice. Just prepare the papers. That's what you're entitled to do.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $425.
Thank you.
All these are excused. You may step. Now, it's case number 3 on the calendar in the matter of Weishart versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Whose son is he?
My son.
Well, we have a son and we have a stepson.
That's my son, his stepson.
How long have the two of you been married?
15 years in September.
And how old are you?
23.
How long have you been together?
16 years.
So you were a little boy, so I can understand when you said he's ours. According to your complaint, you co-signed a car for him.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
How old were you when they co-signed for this car loan?
20.
You don't have to reach in. This modern technology will actually pick up your voice if you stand straight. Now, the agreement that you had with your parents was that you were going to make the payments on the car. Is that right?
For the first year.
I'm going to get back to your year agreement in 1 second, because that sounds sort of interesting. In any event, what happened was he made sporadic payments on the car, and then he totaled the car.
So what actually happened was we co-signed for the truck for him. He was doing very well at that time. They had just had their son, bought a new home, had a good job, and was doing very well. So we co-signed.
He totaled the car, and you're making payments on it, on the loan.
That's correct.
Now, you want him to take over those payments. That's what the case is about, right?
Yes, about paying his truck payments.
Right. They co-signed the car, and you're going to convince me, sir, why I should believe that you only agreed to make the payments for the first year.
Yes, I am.
And I tell you, I am all ears.
Okay, first, my parents flew into Tennessee from Texas, and he asked me, did we want to go out and look at trucks? Because my car seat wouldn't fit in my car, really, for my child, and his golf clubs wouldn't fit in there. So anyway, we go to look at cars, and he's saying he likes this truck and asked me if I like it. And I say, yeah, I like it, you know. And he's telling me how I need a truck for my car seat, for his golf clubs, for when they come into town, they can drive it, and I could drive it while they weren't in town.
Keep going. Come on.
That's
Let's
it.
go.
I paid the first year's payments. I had money saved up from income taxes, and I told him I could make the first year's payment, and he said, don't worry about it, we'll make the rest.
How many vehicles do you have?
2.
One for you and one for?
Them.
One for them.
Yeah, the wrecked one.
Oh, we're not talking about the truck. How many vehicles did you have at the time that you were making the payments?
I had one before the truck, including the truck too.
And what did you do with the second one?
I sold it so I could put the money down for the truck.
Good. And did you put the money down for the truck?
Yes, I did.
How much?
$1,000.
Were you supposed to keep the insurance on the truck?
Yes, I was.
Did you do that?
No,
Why not?
because I canceled it about 3 weeks before I had the accident.
Why?
Because I had bought a new house, and I'd rather have my house than my truck, so I can at least sleep in it.
Well, that was ridiculous. You don't drive a car without insurance. What would happen if you hit somebody and really hurt them?
I would be in trouble.
Right. And what do you think's going to happen to you today because you didn't have insurance?
I don't know. I guess that's up to you.
You're right.
So we have pictures of the truck. We also have a copy of the loan agreement and then where we paid the truck payments from our checking, if you would like to see any of those.
I also have some evidence also. They had co-signed for a car, the car that I had sold. That's what I also had told him. That car ran fine. I didn't need another vehicle, but...
You just told me that the car seat for your baby didn't fit in your car.
It did. He said it didn't fit good enough.
No, you told me it didn't fit.
It fit. I mean, we had to drive him around for a few months before then, so he had to fit somehow.
Not necessarily.
Well, you think we rode down the road with him in our lap?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Your Honor, that was casual conversation when we came in to visit into town. We were going somewhere, and he was struggling to get the car seat in the car. And that's when I said, wow, you just need to go get a new vehicle. You know, I recommended getting a truck with an extended cab as well so that it could put the baby seat in and out of the truck easily.
Who did you hit in this truck?
A pile of rocks.
Were you drunk?
No.
Did you fall asleep?
No. It's the first time I had been down this road and we were going to where we live.
Well, a pile of rocks doesn't move, sir. This is a lot of damage to do on the car.
It was summer and the trees were sprung out, obviously. And they have a stop sign, a head sign, and it's only about 3 feet before the stop sign. With the trees bloomed out, you couldn't really see it at nighttime. So I went to stop and...
So whose fault do you think that is?
Mine. I have the car anyway, like I was saying, that I had before. They co-signed for it. I paid every payment on it. I had 1 year lease and I paid it off in 10 months.
Well, sure. You know why? Because you still have it.
Why would I not pay the truck if...
Because of something that you just told me, sir, which was that you wrecked it. And you wrecked it at a time when you had no insurance on it, and you didn't have insurance on it because you chose to put money into your house rather than pay your car insurance. That's why you didn't pay them. That's the difference. Did I just answer your question?
No.
Well, I think I answered it. You may not like the answer, but I answered it.
That's not why I didn't pay the payments. I did not pay the payments because I was only supposed to pay 1 year, and that's what
No, did you make any payments, sir, after you totaled the truck?
No, I didn't, because my
Did you make payments before you totaled the truck?
Yes, I did. But it was 1 year, and it had just so happened that...
You mean just serendipitously? You wrecked the truck on the first-year anniversary. That was serendipitous.
It was a month after. It was a month after he wrecked it. And, Your Honor, for that month of May, which made it up to a year, he didn't make that payment either. He was having a hard time at home with his family. They weren't getting along too well.
Why weren't you getting along too well with your family?
Because we were pinched for money. That's why I had to cancel my insurance. We wasn't making bills. We were stressed out.
Well, that's unfortunate. Did you buy a house that was too much for you?
No, I did not. I bought a truck that was too much for me for 1 year, I guess, and didn't pay the insurance.
No, because if you were stressed out, then you're stressed out over more than just a truck payment.
Exactly.
Then what you do is say, listen, I have to sell this truck, and I have to buy transportation because we need transportation, but I can't afford this truck. You don't just stop paying. Does your wife work?
Yes, she does.
And you work?
Yes, I do.
How much do you earn?
$390 a week.
And your wife?
She earns $500 a week.
And your mortgage payment?
Zero. $350. We rent now. We sold that house.
Did you make a profit when you sold it?
Yes, I did.
And didn't pay a payment then either.
I bought a new
tax
vehicle.
check, not a new vehicle,
Well,
$1,400.
Listen, there's no
16.
question in my mind that it was very difficult for you to come here to sue him. How much did you have to pay on the truck?
We paid approximately up to $6,000. The first year from May of 05 to 06, we made payments on the truck every month. He had called
When did he total the truck?
June.
in June of 05.
So where have you been the last 2 years?
Well, it's kind of hard. I mean, you know, you love your children and you want what's best for them and you try to help them. And we had told him a couple times down the road, you know, when we felt like him and Susie were getting their lives together, that, hey, don't worry about paying us what you owe us on the truck. Just start paying the payments now and we'll wipe the slate clean if you start paying the payments. And we've done that a couple of times for him.
4.
And he always says that he'll pay, and then when that month rolls around, he doesn't. So, and it's hard for a parent to take their child.
I don't say that. I never said I'd pay a payment after that year.
Oh, sure you did. It's ridiculous to think
I did not say
otherwise.
that.
Ridiculous to say otherwise. So the total amount of the payments was $13,263. Is that right? And he paid a year's worth.
He paid a year's worth.
And that's
well, just
from
short of
04.
1 month.
I got right here what I paid.
It was
Where is
actually
the
11
truck?
months.
Where is the truck now? It was totaled?
It's sitting in my sister's driveway.
Where did you get this figure of $3,696 from?
Well, this is why, Your Honor. From May of 05, when we started making the payments, he called us at the end of May and said, look, I'm not going to be able to make May's payment. And we said, all right, we'll help you out. By the time it was ready to make that payment, June had rolled in, and we said, okay, we'll make June for you as well. So there was 2 months, because we know they were struggling a little bit. And shortly after, he wrecked his truck. He totaled it. You know, he told us a few days later that he totaled it and that he had been drinking, so.
I want to know where you get the $3,696. Get there. Well, get there faster.
Okay.
It's $221.05 a month. There were a few months that he said that he was going to make the payment, did not make the payment, so there's late fees and things like that added on to that. So from the time that he wrecked the truck, which was June
of 05.
05.
Yes, ma'am.
It was July 1st.
And it may be in July 1st. The end of June, maybe July 1st. But
Go ahead.
So anyways, from that point on, Your Honor,
okay.
That's where we came up with the figure from.
Got it.
I have all my paperwork for the payments. I was only supposed to make 1 year's payment. I have them, and I have the paperwork where they co-signed before, and I made every payment and even paid it off.
I believe you made every payment. You also have the car.
I don't have the car. It's sold.
What you gave me here is the payments from your bank to West State Farm Bank. Is that where the truck was financed?
Yes, State Farm.
Very good. Listen, don't co-sign for anybody anymore, even your kid.
Yeah, this is our second time.
Huh?
This is our oldest daughter got us as well.
They probably made the same deal with her.
There's no deals. It's just trying to help your children.
Don't take advantage of your parents. They seem like very nice people.
I'm not taking advantage of them.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,696. That's all. Step out.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I probably caused problems between us.
I think it's been a huge rift, but I'm hoping now that everything's settled through court that we can put it behind us and move on.
Hope everything is better, you know.
I'm relieved that it's all over.
Now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Durlow versus Barrett. Step forward, please.
Paxton Durlow is suing tattoo artist Breezy Barrett for breach of contract on the bartering of a vehicle. Paxton says Breezy was supposed to tattoo him in exchange for a truck.
Mr. Durlow, you had a truck, and you traded your truck for services to be performed by the defendant, who's a tattoo artist. She paid some in cash for the truck, is that right?
Correct.
And the remainder was to be worked off in this barter arrangement. Is that right?
There was also a bike included in the deal as well.
That you got?
Yes, correct.
Your claim is that Miss Barrett did half of the tattoo and then modified the agreement that you had to complete the tattoo by telling you that you could only come for your appointments between 9 and 12 at a time when you work, therefore requiring that you go to somebody else to have the tattoo finished.
Correct.
That's what you want to pay for, plus some harassment nonsense. Everybody's been harassed. You know who's most harassed here?
You.
And Miss Barrett says that you caused her to lose business because what you did was you kept canceling appointments, and in addition to that, you sexually harassed her, so she's counterclaiming. When did you make this deal with the truck?
I'm not exact on the dates at all. I mean, I have the contract, I guess, in here. So
okay, so let me have the contract, please. Okay, so the sales agreement requires that the tattoo is to be completed in 2-hour sessions, no more than 3 weeks apart, unless otherwise agreed to by the parties, and that's dated 7/21/06, correct?
Correct. Yes.
When did you start the tattoo?
I was already in the middle of tattoos. This deal came on after I was already getting work from her.
So when you were supposed to start it in 2-hour sessions, according to the agreement?
Yes, that would have been starting that date.
So what happened?
Well, the appointments were going well. Then I would get an occasional push. She would ask me if I could come in on a different day because there was a person that absolutely had to have that appointment. And it was a way for her to make money and that she was a sole provider for her home. So I agreed. And then it became redundant. And then
what?
I didn't agree any further. It started getting to where I couldn't get anything done.
Did you ever cancel appointments yourself?
The last time that I had an appointment to go to was one I canceled.
How many times did she change your appointment?
I believe 4 times, maybe even more.
And it was always because she had a paying customer?
A paying customer or something came up. She did have a mother who was terminally ill, which I fully understood. And she also changed appointments there too, which I did not consider in the claim.
Okay. When did she tell you about this business of only coming in the morning?
After a discussion of me not getting anything done, the whole conversation was via text, and I have it, if you'd like
I'd like to see it.
Would you like to see pictures of the truck as well?
No.
Okay.
Not necessary. Breezy, you're Breezy, right?
Yes.
Here's your problem. It is clear to me that the two of you have a dispute in these text messages with regard to whose fault it was, etc. You know, clearly you were not yourself as a result of your mother's illness, because that's clear from these emails, and that there were certain stresses in your life. But when you say to him, in the future, you shouldn't off your artist until after the work is done would be enough for me to say that you breached this contract and I wouldn't let you do any work on me. That's a threat. I mean, I don't know anything about tattoos except that I've seen them. They're done with needles, right?
Correct.
I wouldn't let anybody near me with a needle who said to me I wouldn't take any action until after it was all done and I was happy. You want to say anything to me?
I would love to.
Go ahead.
After 6 months of tattooing on him, I canceled 2 appointments.
Well, that's too many.
One being I'm a sole provider of my children. I only work 5 hours a day because I have preschool pickup, drop off, daycare closes.
Whatever. Listen,
Okay.
He's not your mother. He's not your
No,
sister.
he's
He's not
not.
your brother.
He was a friend.
Just a second. You canceled 2 appointments. Not tragic.
My second appointment I canceled was because his appointment was 2 days after my mother died.
You canceled the 2 appointments.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm not making a big deal out of
he
it.
called and made 4 appointments, 2 weeks, 2 hours back to back. No showed on every one of them. I only work 5 hours a day.
Show
You
me.
no show.
Show
It's
me.
right
He
here.
says that that's not true.
Right here.
It's in pencil, Your Honor.
It doesn't matter if it's in pencil.
Let me take a look at it.
That's my appointment book. Here's my apprentice who helps make all my appointments.
Do you remember independently making these appointments?
She wasn't there
Stop.
at that time.
Just a second. Just answer my question. Do you remember independently making these appointments? Yes or no?
During that point in time.
Just answer my
no.
question. Fine. Thank you. I want you to give me the date of the first appointment. Would you give that book back to her, please? Give me the date of the first appointment you say he missed.
Monday, January 15th.
What was the next one?
1/19/07.
Well, that's not 2 weeks apart.
No, he called after no showing and said, sorry, can you get me in? So I did. I slid him in.
Okay, well, that's not 2 weeks apart. First you told me he made appointments 2 weeks apart over a month and didn't appear. So now it's 1/15/07.
Okay.
Then Then you said he called you and said, I'm sorry, could you fit me in? You made it for 1/19/07, and then you say he didn't show up.
Then he had February 4th.
Go ahead.
Then he had February 16th.
Can you show me, Ms. Berendt, anywhere in these text messages where you say that he missed appointments on the 15th, the 19th, or February 4th, which is why you decided to change the rule? Because you have a lot of emails going back and forth, a lot of bad language going back and well, from your end. But there isn't, according to what I see here, one place where you wrote in your email that he missed appointments on January 15th, January 19th, or February 4th. And all of these text messages were written on February 6th. Not one place do you talk about 3 missed appointments.
Those are his text messages.
Show me yours.
He could have. That phone was dropped in the toilet.
Oh.
But he could easily have left off the first 4 emails for you.
He could have. And your phone maybe could have been dried off from the toilet. You have to take care of the rest of his tattoo. That was your contract with him.
I never had a problem with that.
That
ever.
was your contract. How much will it cost to finish the tattoo?
It's an estimate because, I mean...
How much is the estimate?
I have it right here if you'd like to see it. He believes it to be between $1,440 and $1,800.
Can I see, please?
It depends on the work.
Where is it? Is it on your arm?
It's on both arms. And
Got it.
There's not more than $600 left there.
Well, then you should have done it yourself.
I would love to.
Well, you can't because you threatened him. Okay. Now, you also don't mention anywhere the sexual harassment that you talk about. You want to tell me about it?
Yeah, the entire time I worked on him, it was fondling me, grabbing on me. I leave my wife for you the whole time. That's why she's
good.
here.
Okay. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. The counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. Yeah, this is case number 123 on the calendar, the matter of Heskett versus Siegert.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Heskett, the defendant used to be your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
And you, as so many other women who have appeared before me over the years, gave him some money.
Yes,
A
ma'am.
lot of money.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't look like a very, very rich girl, so you look as if this money really put a dent in your wallet.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition, you claim not only to have given him money, but to have been the victim of his bad temper.
Yes, ma'am.
You claim that he assaulted you, and you want him to be responsible for that as well. Mr. Siegert says that there was, over the course of your relationship, money moved back and forth. There was never any understanding that he was going to repay this money that you gave him. He doesn't much talk about the assault, but he will today. So when did you and the defendant start to live together?
Ma'am, we first started living together around 13 September of '06.
And did you move in together to a place, or did he move into your apartment?
Ma'am, he's on parole. He got released from parole and got what is called live-outs. So therefore, he was given permission to live with me in my condo and do a work release type program.
What were you in prison for, Mr. Siegert?
I was DWI. It was a suspended sentence, Your Honor.
So you weren't in prison?
No, ma'am.
When did you move into her apartment, sir? On September 13th?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was the financial arrangement, Mr. Siegert, when you moved into her apartment?
There wasn't none. There was no agreement whatsoever. And when I basically found another place, which was back with my parents, then I moved out.
When was that?
Well, September 13th I moved in, so I would say October and November was when we were splitting up a lot, fighting.
Is that right?
Ma'am, he moved out the 13th of December, and that was the final day when all the stuff got removed from my residence.
Okay, so let's hear about the money you claim he owes you.
Okay, around the 26th of August, he had to go down to Texas for his child support hearing. Basically, he owed around $15,000 in back child support. They were going to throw him in jail, and he had to go to court down there. He stressed the importance of being able to see his daughter and have his daughter into his life, and really was upset and asked me for help. I went at that time with him to City Financial Bank, and I took out a loan for $5,000. I then turned around and deposited that money into my account. I transferred $3,000 from savings to checkings on the 29th so I could write the check of check number 1222.
For what?
For his attorney, for the retainer.
And how did you get the name of the attorney?
He had provided the name of the attorney, ma'am.
And how did you get the city and state of the attorney?
He provided it, ma'am.
And how did you get the amount that was owed the attorney?
He provided it, ma'am.
Did you speak to the attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And you got the telephone number from?
The defendant.
Is that all correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, when you sent this money down, what kind of discussion did you have with Mr. Siegert with regard to the money?
Ma'am, he promised that he would pay me back on the monthly payments that were due, and he claimed that
because this was a loan that you were going to be paying back. You didn't just take money out of your bank. And how much were the monthly payments?
They were around $148 a month.
That's a pretty exact number. Were they $148 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So that's the first amount of money. What else?
The other amounts that I helped him out with was basically the rent, which we had the agreement.
Forget rent. If you didn't pay the rent the first month, you should have kicked him out. Anything else?
I don't believe so.
Now you want to tell me about when this assault allegedly took place?
Yes, ma'am. The assault happened on 31 December at around 12:30 in the morning. The defendant came over. He had still had house keys since he had previously moved out on the 13th. He came in. He was drunk at the time, came into my bedroom, was trying to talk to me while he was drunk. I told him to get out. We got into a fight because I threatened to call the police. And basically, he slapped the cell phone out of my hands. He grabbed me. I was on the chair, and he pinned me down. He had one hand over my nose and one over my mouth, and he says, "How does it feel knowing that I've got your life in my hands?" I then told him to get off. I couldn't catch my breath, and I proceeded to just get extremely dizzy and sick.
And he left?
He left, but he took my vehicle in the process.
Did he return the vehicle?
The cops contacted him. The vehicle got returned.
You called the police?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you arrested that day, sir?
No, Your Honor.
How did they get the car?
I ended up bringing it back to her because reported phone calls and stuff like that and threats. So I brought it back. I didn't want any more conflict whatsoever. But if you don't mind, Your Honor, the only evidence I have against that assault is right here from my PO stating...
Don't tell me what your PO states.
Okay.
Let's get to this money that Ms. Haskett laid out for you. $3,000 you acknowledge she gave towards your attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, is this a retainer for an attorney, or was this to pay your child support?
An attorney.
An attorney for what?
For child support, I was fighting for custody and to take care of the back child support.
Why were you fighting for custody?
Well, I wanted to get my rights back.
What rights?
The standard visitation rights.
So, well, there's a difference between custody and visitation. So what were you fighting for?
Just my visitation and to get back child support readjusted.
Well, did you get the back child support readjusted?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
To what?
It is down to about $7,000, and now I'm paying extra each month to get it back down.
Wouldn't it have been smarter to save the $3,000 for the lawyer and just give $3,000 to your child?
I couldn't. I had to fight for myself. Because if I did not go down there and get it reduced, yes, I would have went to jail because it was an outrageous amount.
Well, how much was it a week?
It was a week. They didn't know my income right at the time because...
Don't tell me what they didn't know. I asked you a specific question. What was the amount of child support you were supposed to pay?
$384 a month.
Well, that's not an outrageous amount.
Well, it's, for one child, you don't get a C.
How much were you supposed to pay that you didn't pay a month?
$384 a month, Your Honor.
That was not an exorbitant amount.
No, it wasn't.
Why didn't you pay it?
Because I wasn't seeing her. She wouldn't let me.
Why didn't you go to court?
I was in the process of it. I didn't have the money.
You don't need money to go to court. Every domestic relations court in this country, you can appear pro bono if you want to, if it's important to you.
Very.
If it was important to you, that's what you do.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Where did you think you were coming today? To the beach?
I didn't think it would be brought up.
Why didn't you think it would be brought up?
Didn't cross my mind. I was thinking about
You have no mind.
Erica Heskett says ex-boyfriend Joseph Siegert owes for loans and an assault.
In any event, why should Miss Hassett pay this $3,000 for a lawyer that you needed to keep you out of jail because you didn't pay child support?
Because I actually had an agreement with my attorney on payment plans.
So why didn't you pay her? She has to pay $148 a month. How much were you supposed? If you were supposed to pay your lawyer a payment plan, how much were you supposed to pay your lawyer a month?
It was going to be $100 a week.
$100 a week, which is $400 a month.
Yes.
Well, this was only $148 a month. Why didn't you pay her?
She was paid, Your Honor.
How?
By cash,
No, that's not what you say here. I have your answer. And when you had time to write this answer, you had time to reflect. So don't give me a lot of baloney. The only thing that you say here is that you gave her a $2,800 settlement check. It's the only thing that you say that you gave her. Am I correct? That's what you say here. And you say there was money back and forth. But as far as this $3,000 is concerned, what you say, Mr. Siegert, is she took it upon herself to pay the lawyer. I never asked her.
She did. That's exactly how it went. She was being...
Who are you?
I'm his mother.
I would suggest you be quiet. So far, you haven't done a good job.
But, Your Honor, I...
Got it?
Yeah.
And I would keep the relationship to myself, especially today.
Your Honor, I did not ask her to go get the $3,000.
What I'm asking you, sir, is if you had an arrangement with the lawyer to give him $100 a week,
yes,
which is $400 a month, and she laid it out, why didn't you give her the $400 a month until the $3,000 was paid off?
It was paid off, Your Honor.
Tell me how. That's what I'm listening.
By a settlement check. I was getting at it.
Well, then get there.
I received it in January 7th.
Settlement check for what?
I was fired for wrongful reasons.
Did you receive that $2,800 check?
No, ma'am.
Show me proof.
I have no proof, Your Honor. Due to the fact that she entered my house a while back and took all my receipts and contracts
Mr. Siegert,
for that.
Mr. Siegert, I believe you this much, sir. Because all you have to do is call whoever sent you the settlement check. Get a copy of it, because if she endorsed it, they would have gotten it back, right?
I have a copy of...
Show me.
...of the settlement at my house.
Just a second. You have a copy of the settlement at your house. Where did you think you were coming today? To the beach?
I didn't think it would be brought up.
Well, of course it would be brought up, sir. That's what you wrote in your answer. Why didn't you think it would be brought up?
Didn't cross my mind. I was thinking about
You have no mind. You owe her the $3,000. Now, let's hear your version of the events of the 31st of December when you entered her home.
I don't recollect hardly anything whatsoever.
Why?
Because I don't drink. I don't drive.
Well, you did drive because you just told me that you returned her car to her. So you clearly drove.
Well, not personally.
What do you mean not personally?
Well, because I was paying for a vehicle that I could not drive yet.
Look at you. I want you to look at your mother's face. Your mother is looking at you and saying, I really wish I wasn't here. Why didn't I send somebody else? Do you have other children?
Yes.
You have older children?
Yes.
Why didn't I send one of the older kids with him? Why am I subjecting myself to sitting here and having a television camera on me, listening to this child that I reared? Listen, tell me about the 31st of December.
31st of December. Yes, she did call and report that I did assault her. As I know.
I want you to tell me not what she did.
Your Honor, I honestly don't know what I did exactly on the 31st, but I know what she said I didn't do. What's that?
Because you were drinking?
No, Your Honor.
Well, if you don't know what you were doing on the 31st of December, either you were drinking or drugging or something.
Either I was working or sleeping. That was my life, Your Honor. I was on parole. That's what my life is now. I don't do anything that she says I do. Drink, drive, commit crimes, all that stuff. I've made my mistake, and I pay for it.
Not yet.
Obviously.
How many grandchildren does your mother have?
She has one, Your Honor.
Does she see that one grandchild?
Sorry, I apologize. She has 3. 1 from me and 2 from my sister.
You don't have to bend down. We can hear you. Does she see the grandchild that is your child?
No.
Is that her choice, your choice, or the child's choice?
Neither. The mother's choice. That's why I'm in a battle.
Maybe you wouldn't be in such a battle if you paid your child support.
It's being paid, Your Honor.
Well, people usually don't go on an eating hiatus, Mr. Siegert.
Right.
Including children. They have to eat regularly, they have to be clothed regularly. So the fact that you went on a child support hiatus doesn't necessarily endear you to the mother of your child.
Your Honor, I'm not saying that I didn't. Well, I didn't pay the child support. I'm not saying I didn't have her on and off. I had her, she got her money, but it wasn't recorded. That's what I'm saying. Now it's legal through the courts, and they didn't adjust anything, and that's why it's being adjusted from what I did already pay.
Listen, Miss Hassett, you weren't together with him very long, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Good for you.
I made a mistake.
You made a mistake.
A big one.
So right now, what you really out is $3,000. You have no difference in your rent, even though you say that he promised to pay you rent. He lived with you 3 months. You still living in the same condo?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a roommate?
No, ma'am.
Right. So your primary problem is that you are stuck with this $3,000 loan that you took out to pay for his lawyer, and that he's responsible to pay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused.
I found him when he was in a hard time of his life. I tried to help him out.
I was trying to keep me around by buying stuff, obviously.
He wanted to see his daughter.
It was nice, considerate stuff. I mean, I'm not complaining about it.
I just told him you can't buy love.
I don't know what goes through her mind anymore.
I am who I am, and I guess I'm a sucker.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Allen versus Stevens. Step forward.
22-year-old Lindsay Allen is suing eBay seller 26-year-old Karen Stevens for selling her a fake Louis Vuitton purse. Karen insists the purse is real.
Miss Allen, you purchased what you believe to be an authentic designer bag on the internet from the defendant. I think you paid $250 for it. When it arrived, it was your belief that it was a fake.
Yes.
And you spent another $35 to have someone examine it. And you are going to be showing me, according to your complaint, that it was determined that the bag was, in fact, a fake.
Yes.
Ms. Stevens says there is no way that the bag was fake, and she's going to prove to me that the bag was authentic. Can I see the bag, please?
Yes.
Why did you want this bag, by the way?
I've always wanted an authentic Louis Vuitton purse. I did not know that what I was getting was a replica. I do have a real one here to compare.
I'd like to take a look at it, please.
The serial number on the authentic one is underneath the pouch.
This pouch?
Yeah, the interior pouch, right underneath it.
Oh, you would never know that unless you looked very carefully.
And there's no serial number on the replica as well. As you can see also, the stitching is uneven. In authentic Louis Vuitton purses, the stitching is usually close to perfect.
There are several things that are different.
Yes.
There is no authentication on the lock, and there is an authentication on the lock on this one. Have you ever examined a real one as compared to this one?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Stevens, what do you do for a living?
I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I sell on eBay.
Where did you get this bag from?
My mom.
Where did she get it from?
A good friend of hers. It was actually a gift.
Well, it's a fake.
I don't believe that it is.
Yeah, it is. Sure it is. Would you send it back to her? She's going to look at several things. First of all, she's going to look at the piping. She's going to look at the serial numbers inside. She's going to look at the lock. First, take a look at the lock on both. Take a look at the lock on the real one. Turn it over. One also has a serial number on the bottom. The one that you sold her does not.
Yes.
Now open up the real one. Open up the flap, and you'll see a serial number underneath the flap. See the serial number?
Yes.
Open up yours. See a serial number?
No, I do not.
Got it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You look like a very nice lady. She wants her money back. When did she call you and tell you that she wanted her money back?
She emailed me after receiving the purse saying that it was fake, and I said that I didn't believe that it was. And if she did believe that it was fake, I sent 7 different very detailed pictures to her of the purse that show the stitching. If she had any idea that it wasn't authentic or thought that it wasn't, I sent extra pictures.
Listen to me. You sent her the pictures for her to try to prove that it was a real purse.
Exactly.
But it's not.
But why did she not argue that if she thought that it was? Because I'm not a cheater or a stealer.
Now, I understand that, but she wanted her money back. And if you had said, listen, if you're dissatisfied with the purse, I'll give you your money back, we wouldn't be here today. But in order for her to prove to you that it was fake, she took it to somebody to authenticate it. Mm-hmm. Do you have the report? Can I see it, please?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to sell things? That's what happens. I mean, if you don't know that something is authentic and you advertise it as a Louis Vuitton bag, you're advertising it as an authentic Louis Vuitton bag. Yes. Turns out that it is not an authentic Louis Vuitton bag. I can see that. I've shown you some examples of where you can look and see it. I don't think you're a dishonest lady. I think you thought perhaps she was mistaken. Maybe you thought she was trying to scam you and would send you back a different bag, which is what you say in your answer. In the meantime, the big bag goes back to the plaintiff. The little bag stays with the defendant, and she gets her money back, plus the cost of the expert, $285. Thank you very much. You're two nice ladies.
Judge Judy, step out. Yeah, this is case number 88 on the calendar in the matter of Allen versus Lindsay Isles.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Allen, you did babysitting for the defendants.
Correct.
On several different occasions, several different periods of time. And it is your claim that you are owed some wages because you were let go from your job.
Yes.
And you had worked 30 hours.
Correct.
The defendants, while they seem to acknowledge that you were owed wages at the time you left, they say they really owe you nothing because you made a false claim to Child Protective Services about the way that they care for their children, and they are counterclaiming in the amount of $3,000 because of what they say that you put them through. Miss Lindsay, when and where did you find Miss Allen to babysit for your children?
Well, Miss Allen was our children's first babysitter.
And you have 2 children?
We have 3, ma'am.
How long did she babysit for you?
This last time was for 9 months.
And prior to that?
It was off and on for a number of months.
And she was a good babysitter?
Yes, ma'am.
Took good care of your children? You felt comfortable about leaving her with the children?
We trusted her, yes, ma'am.
Good. Miss Allen, then I'm going to come to you. I want you to tell me what happened that caused you to call Child Protective Services and when?
On numerous occasions, the kids would not have enough to eat. They would ask me, can I have some more? I was like, well, there's no more food. And I would offer them, like, okay, give me $100. I'll be more than happy to go to the commissary. It's base where the food's a whole lot cheaper. And, you know, I'll get the food and stuff like that for them. No big deal. No. We're going to go out. We have our monthly budget. And every end of the month, they go to Sam's and everything, come back with the same thing. And we do the same thing over. The kids' shoes were too small. I purchased a pair of shoes for the 4-year-old girl. We had to go up 2 sizes, and that was in the end of '06. I bought the shoes for her, and I started working for them in August. So that time, her shoes were too small. We bought the baby shoes. She was not a year at the time, and the kids were not getting baths. The dad would go out of town. Every other week, he'd go out of town. No big deal. Mom said it's going to be a long week. Could you give the kids a bath? And I would. But when Dad comes home at 5:30, I would not give the kids a bath. I come in at 10:30 in the morning. The kids had the same clothes on that I put them in the day before. I was like, did you guys get a bath? No, Miss Sandra, could we get a bath? So I was like, well, it's time to get dressed, so we'll just change clothes and we'll just go out and do our stuff and everything.
What did you tell Child Protective Services when you called them?
That the kids were being neglected and weren't being supervised properly.
Go ahead.
On one occasion, Ms. Dasher told me personally that the neighbor down the street came in and told her that the oldest son was sitting, they have a 2-story house, and the son was sitting out on his window throwing things out. And the screen's missing, so he was throwing things out of his window.
What kind of work do you do, Miss Lindsay?
I'm a cook.
For whom?
For a company called Sodexo.
You work full-time?
Yes, ma'am.
And you, sir?
Systems analyst for the same company.
Well, you both have good jobs. You've been working for a while for this company?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any financial problems?
No.
Miss Allen, before you called Child Protective Services, did you discuss with Miss Lindsay and Mr. Lyles your concerns?
No, I did not.
You did not. Who is this lady?
It's my mother.
Would you step up, please? Tell me your last name.
Allen.
Miss Allen, when, if ever, did your daughter start to discuss with you the concerns she had about these children?
It was last year. She was seeing different things, and in our area they have a lot of yard sales, and she asked me if I would go out, if I could look for clothes in children's size and shoes because they were too small, or the winter time. What she said, I'm not sure if it was the 4-year-old didn't have clothes that would fit her for the winter, so I was trying to find jeans and turtlenecks and stuff. And she would bring them over to the house sometime, and I would fix some lunch and everything, because she would say the cup of noodles, that was all they would be eating for lunch, and the sodium in that soup thing was kind of high for a child. So
did she discuss with you before she called Child Protective Services?
No, but she told me that, you know, something needed to be done about what was going on, and I told her, you know, do what she needed to do.
Okay. Do you have the report from Child Protective Services? I'd like to see it.
Yes, ma'am. I have two, the original when they first came out on the 20th, and the second from the actual caseworker.
How many times did the caseworker visit you in the 2-week period between the date that the report was received and the day they closed the case?
Just twice. The first time, which is A, and then the second time, which is B, when they closed the case. Because on the first visit, she stated that there was nothing but discrepancies in the claims, that the allegations that was made.
Okay. Miss Lindsay or Mr. Lyles, do you have any motive for Miss Allen to have placed this call after the years that she spent with you taking care of your children?
Possibly, yes, ma'am.
Well, I'd like to hear what you think the possible motive is.
That Monday before the 20th, I believe it was the 16th, Miss Allen came in, normal day. I had spoken to her in regards to, we was paying her extra stipend for gas because she would pick our son up from school, so we give her extra money on top of her pay each week. Well, gas prices in our area were rising, and she came to me and she stated, Miss Dasher, the news said by Memorial Day, gas prices are going to be sky high. Can I please get more gas money? And I said, well, how much do you want? Because I was previously paying her $20 extra a week for gas. She said $30, and I said, fine, no problem. Okay, that was taken care of. Right before I was getting ready to go to work that day, I reminded Miss Allen that we were soon to be putting our two oldest children, the 4- and 5-year-old, in private school, in which we was going to be paying for private school, and the only one that would be left would be our 2-year-old. And once we're paying for private school, we wouldn't be able to pay her the same amount that we pay her currently for her nanny services.
Well, how much were you paying her an hour?
$7 an hour during the week, and if she worked on the weekends, it would be $9 an hour, plus the
So
stipend
you wanted
for
to pay her
gas.
less than $7 an hour?
I didn't want
No,
to.
we were cutting the hours back. That was what we were telling her.
Oh, you were just cutting her hours back?
Yes, it was more like a pre-notice to possibly a 2-week notice when the children started private school. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, and what did she say?
She didn't state much. She said, well, that's fine. By August, I planned on having moved out of my parents' home.
So she wasn't upset about it?
She didn't seem upset, no.
She wasn't upset about that, so that's not a reason. I don't see any reason that she would have, quite frankly, Miss Lindsay, of making this phone call unless she had some legitimate concerns over the 3 children. And the fact that the state didn't find any gross abnormality in your house doesn't mitigate the fact that she felt as if you and your husband may have been a little overwhelmed with full-time jobs and 3 little children, working very hard. You have financial things in the works, private school and all that stuff. Whatever it was, I don't get from Miss Allen that she was being vindictive about anything.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you remember when she bought your 4-year-old shoes?
She didn't have any bills.
You mean she didn't have any bills, so she should spend the money on your children?
And later today,
Your Honor, she was tricked. She
Listen
was
to
duped.
me, sir. She wasn't tricked.
Yes, I was. I was told it was slate, and it's not.
No, it doesn't say slate pool table. It says pool table.
Sandra Allen says former employers Dasher Lindsay and Ralph Isles owe for babysitting fees. The defendants are countersuing, claiming Sandra made false accusations to Child Protective Services.
You have a reason she might call?
I mean, my sister told me that she was going through personal issues.
Well, first of all, that's hearsay. Second of all, going through personal issues would not necessarily mean she would take it out on you.
Well, it doesn't make sense that she would call. The things that were going on did not happen. I mean, she put our kids in danger.
How did she put your kids in danger?
Because Child Protective Services could have took them away.
Well, they could have if they found that they were substantially neglected or abused. They absolutely could have, but we don't discourage people in this country if they have legitimate concerns from making a report to Child Protective Services so that somebody can come out and take a look at a situation and make sure everything is right. Problem is, too many people don't do anything. And unless I find that there was some motivation other than legitimate concern for the children's safety, I'm dismissing your counterclaim and she's going to get the wages that were owed to her. Her mother seems to say, who is a lady that I assume you knew.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
That her daughter had confided in her previously that she was concerned about the children.
She never confided in us. Up until that day, Miss Allen and I had never had any problems communicating.
You may not have had any problems. Do you remember when she bought your 4-year-old shoes?
She bought my 2-year-old shoes.
Or your 2-year-old shoes? Do you remember when she did that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why she did that?
I had just bought my 2-year-old shoes. She did it because
the 2 pairs of shoes.
Yes.
It is unlikely that she would have spent her money, the hard-earned money that the $7 an hour, which is the minimal amount.
She didn't have any bills.
What?
She didn't have any bills.
I have bills.
She didn't have any bills, so she should spend the money on your children?
No,
we never
she
asked
liked
her
doing things
to.
for our children. She took them to McDonald's. She did things for them. That was.
So she was a really good caregiver.
Yes, she was.
We're not
Well,
denying
then
She had no right to
something-
call Child Protective
Yes,
Services.
she did.
There was nothing wrong with the way we raised our children.
That's your perception, and you may be right. But if she's the kind of caregiver that you say she is, to her eye, these children were not being adequately cared for while in your care. And before the state takes children away, there has to be some overriding reason, because they got plenty of children in foster care. So if it's a question of children not getting more than noodle soup or not getting a bath every day, they're not going to remove children from a home. But that doesn't mean somebody who loves the children, as she clearly did according to you, should tolerate what she perceives as neglect. So your counterclaim is dismissed. You owe her $226 salary and $30 for gas. Pay her. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've tried to talk to the parents on numerous occasions about different things.
She never tried to talk to us.
But they don't want to listen to me on different occasions, so why would they want to hear something about how their kids are being raised?
And she did, regardless of what was said. She put our children in danger.
I did what I had to. If you feel like kids are being neglected, don't be afraid to call someone. You're not in the wrong.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Vas Nunes versus Moley. Step forward.
Alan and Terry Vas Nunes are suing Melissa Moley for the value of a pool table and bedroom set they sold her. The couple claims Melissa ultimately canceled her check.
Mr. and Mrs. Vas Nunes, you sold the defendant your home.
Yes.
And when you sold her your home, she also purchased a bedroom set and a pool table, independent of the purchase price of the home. I assume after the closing you moved out and she stopped payment on the check.
That is correct, Your Honor.
You want the money for the bedroom set and the pool table. Mrs. Moley says that the pool table was misrepresented to her as a slate pool table, and it's not a slate pool table, it's something called Slatron, and she's not paying for it. Was there a separate bill of sale for the furniture?
No, Your Honor.
And did the contract for the sale of the house provide anything about furniture?
No, Your Honor.
Miss Moley, how many times did you see the house before you purchased it?
A few times.
Well, what's a few? A couple is 2. A few is more than 2.
Yes.
Usually more than 3.
Yes, few.
Let's pause for a moment, and I want you to think how many times you were in the house before the closing.
3 times.
Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Very good. And on each of the 3 occasions, did you see the bedroom set?
I believe I did.
And on each of the 3 occasions, did you see the pool table?
Yes, I walked past it.
When you came to the house, did you come alone?
I came at different times, once with the real estate agent, once by myself, once my husband met me there.
Okay. When your husband met you there, it would only be natural for you to show him the bedroom set and the pool table.
We weren't looking at the bedroom set and the pool table. We were looking at the house.
I said it would only be natural to show him the bedroom set and the pool table if you were interested in buying it.
We weren't interested in buying it until after he had come. We had asked them later on if they were going to be selling any of the furniture.
Then I assume that your husband saw the bedroom set and the pool table. So just answer my questions. Let's not play with each other. And I assume that when you went home with your husband, you discussed whether or not you would buy any of the furniture. That would be a logical thing to do.
Yes.
And both you and your husband decided that if they were prepared to sell the bedroom set and the pool table, you were interested in purchasing it.
I decided that, yes.
You decided that independently of your husband?
Yes, I did.
You felt as if you had the expertise to do that all by yourself?
Expertise as far as what? I just decided I was going to buy it.
And you made that decision yourself. How old are you?
39.
What kind of work do you do?
I stay home with the kids.
And your husband?
He works for Verizon.
And who makes the financial decisions in the house?
I do.
Okay. Now, on what date did you make this arrangement to sell the furniture, the pool table and the bedroom
In
set?
mid-January, after the contract and the approval to purchase my home, Ms. Moley had sent a piece of paper to my wife explaining she had interest in the bedroom set.
May I see the piece of paper? Do you have it?
And then on...
You don't have the piece of paper.
On 2/28, she wrote a check.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
That would be February 28th.
Yes, ma'am. But prior to that, on 2/18, she did come to the house the first time initially to view the bedroom set and the pool table with her son, and we opened our home to her.
Just one second.
Yes.
Miss Moley, did you write this out? Pool table, furniture?
Yes.
So this is your contract?
Yes.
You canceled this check?
Yes, and I gave them a new check for the $450. I tried to reach them by telephone. We went to closing on the 28th. On the 1st of March, I called Terry Vest Nunez on her cell phone, which she had given me. I left her a message stating that I was disappointed the pool table was not slate, like she had told me. She didn't call me back until 8 days later. So I attempted to reach them, couldn't get them. 8 days later.
Miss Moley, listen to me. You are responsible for this. This is your contract. Absent another writing, this is your contract. You agreed to purchase
a slate pool
from
table.
them. No, it doesn't say slate pool table. It says pool table. It doesn't say new. It doesn't say 2004. It doesn't say green. It doesn't say. It says pool table and furniture from them for $900. This forms your contract. And when you buy secondhand furniture, if you want to be specific, you can either do one of two things. You can have an expert come and look at it before you purchase it. That you can do. Who are you?
I'm her brother, Your Honor.
Did you look at it before she purchased it?
She had called me on the phone. May I stand up?
Sure.
She had called me on the phone, and she asked me that they're selling the pool table. I said, if it's slate, she says $450. I said, if it's slate, it's a score, buy it. If it's flake board, do not buy it. The humidity in New York will destroy it. It's no good. It's not worth anything.
Well, why didn't you come and look at it?
Because I live a distance away, and she was making that decision immediately, and I told her, do not buy it. She called them up. To confirm it, is it slate?
Listen to me. Sit down. You weren't there when she called them? You can't report on anything that she said?
She told me it was slate when I asked her. Prior to giving her the check, I said, is it slate or is it wood? She told me it was slate. She told me the difference between slate board and wood. The balls don't bounce, the wood won't warp. It's slate. I didn't go looking under the table.
Did you have a discussion with them about that?
Melissa called me on the telephone after I gave her the $900 quote for the furniture, and she asked me if the pool table was slate. I told her I didn't know. However, I do think that it's Slatron.
In any event, there was no discussion, and there's certainly no indication in any contract that $450 of this $900 is ascribed to the pool table. The fact that you decided that the bedroom furniture is worth $450.
I didn't decide that. They told me the breakdown. There was $450 for the table, $450 for the furniture.
Then you should have put it in the contract.
Your Honor, may I?
First of all, I don't believe that. I believe that what happened is they said, how much do you want for the pool table and for the furniture? And they said $900, or whatever they said, and you agreed on $900. In any event, you had no right to do this. When you buy secondhand items, it's up to you. It's a buyer beware. You have to make a judgment. And you had an opportunity to bring an expert in to look at the furniture. You had an opportunity to have your brother come down to take a look at it. But you gave them a check, and this is your contract. And your contract is to purchase a pool table and furniture. That's what you bought.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. She was tricked.
Listen to me, sir. She wasn't tricked.
Yes, I was. I was told it was slate, and it's not. And Mr. Vest Nunez wasn't there.
Listen to me. Neither was he. And what your brother said to you was, listen, if they're selling you, if they're dumb enough to sell you a slate pool table for $450, it's a score.
No,
that's
not true.
That's exactly what he just said to me.
He did say that, but it costs money.
I'm speaking. That's what he said. He said, sis, if they're willing to sell you a slate pool table for $450, these idiots, it's a score. It's a steal. buy it. So you thought you were getting a real bargain.
It would
That's
have
what
been
he
a
told
bargain
me.
for both of them.
Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. That's
Thank
all.
you very much, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may It's case number 102 on the calendar in the matter of Rittenhour versus Hill. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Ms. Rittenhour, Mr. Hill is your soon-to-be ex-son-in-law, and it is your claim that he owes you for a small loan that you made to him to pay his mortgage and for some babysitting services for your 3 grandchildren.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hill says that the mortgage payment was your idea. There was never any discussion of repayment for it, and he's going to tell me the story about the babysitting services. I want to start with you, Mr. Hill. How long have you been married?
Since 95.
And how old are your children?
10, 7, and 12.
How long have you been separated from your wife?
Since 05.
And how long have the children been living with you? You have custody
Since
of the-
05.
Since 05.
Yes, ma'am.
Did your wife leave the house?
Yes.
Did she have somebody else?
At the time, no, I don't know. I don't think so.
But she left?
Yes.
And she left you with the children?
Well, when she originally left, she took the kids with her. The kids wasn't happy living with Miss Rittenhour here. The kids told Tina this many times. Tina told me over the phone that I could have custody. We went to court for the custody.
That's not true, Your
Just
Honor.
a second. Was custody adjudicated in court?
Yes. When we went
That's
to
all I
court.
have to hear. Custody was adjudicated in court?
Yes.
Did you and your wife make an agreement with regard to the custody of the children?
Yes.
So it was resolved between the two of you that you would have custody and she would have visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you get child support for the children?
It's court ordered, but I haven't received the first check yet.
And how long has it been since you got child support from their mother?
I believe it was April or May of last year, 06.
Now, Ms. Rittenhour, when do you claim you made this loan to Mr. Hill with regard to the mortgage payment?
October 27th of 2006.
Tell me about it.
Mr. Hill was at my house stating that him and the children wanted to move back to his home because he was living with his mom, but he didn't have the money for the mortgage payment. I stated to Mr. Hill that I would lend it to him. He come back and said that he did not want any handouts and that he would pay me back. And I stated that he can make payments and I haven't received a penny from Mr. Hill.
Your Honor, that's wrong.
Okay. Now tell me about the babysitting.
The babysitting, Mr. Hill asked me if I would watch the 3 children for him while he worked, that he would pay me. And I said, okay, $75 a week, and he okayed that. And I said, but he had to be home by 7 that evening. Well, Mr. Hill called me that Friday, because it was only a week that I watched him. That Friday, he called me, and he stated that he would be a few minutes late, that his sister was in a car accident. And I said, okay. This was at 5 p.m. I called him at 10:07 in the evening to ask him if he would be back by 8 to pick up the children. And he said, yes, Vern, I'm leaving now, and hung up on me. And so in the meantime, I was on the computer with the 2 granddaughters, and I received an IM through the computer, which was Mr. Hill's mom, saying all these harsh things to me. And then Mr. Hill came and blew the horn at 8 o'clock and picked up the children. And then when I got on my computer, I seen that I had 2 emails that Saturday, the day after, where Mr. Hill was apologizing for his mom. And I also have an email here stating that his mom wanted me to accept her apology as well.
So what does that have to do with anything?
Because Mr. Hill
What does that have to do with anything?
Mr. Hill should have called me and told me that he was going to be late and not call his mom and have his mom to IM me through the computer. It was between me and him, not me, him and his mom.
He told me that he called you at 5 o'clock. He said his sister was in an automobile accident and he was going to be late. Didn't you just tell me that?
He said a little late.
So what? You're with your 3 grandchildren. Do you work?
No, ma'am.
So what else do you have to do? If he said he had a family emergency, what's the big deal?
Because I watched him before, and he's never picked him up until 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about one particular day. You watch the children for 1 week, according to you. Where do you think you are? You watched the children for 1 week. You said he was supposed to pick them up at 7. I assume the other days he picked them up at 7. Called you the last day, said, my sister was in an automobile accident. I'm going to be a little late. And he comes to pick the children up 1 hour late. And I'm asking you, you're the grandmother. What's the big deal?
The big deal is I watched him 4 months prior to that, and I never charged anything. And
you shouldn't charge anything.
And he was coming and picking the children up at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night when it's a school night.
Then you shouldn't have volunteered to watch them again if it wasn't satisfactory arrangement. If it wasn't a satisfactory arrangement 4 months before, then you shouldn't have volunteered to watch them again. would seem to me that if you are the mother of a deadbeat parent, which you are, because your daughter is a deadbeat, she has not sent support for her children since April of '06, that if your contribution could be helping to watch your grandchildren so that he can work and support them, you shouldn't be here today asking for $75 for babysitting services.
Well, how can my daughter be a deadbeat? She's paying child support for the grandchildren.
No,
she's
she's
also
not.
giving medical insurance for them.
He hasn't received child support from her since April of '06.
Because he keeps dropping it. It's like this. If she doesn't do what Mr. Hill wants her to do, then he'll go file it. If she does what he wants her to do, he'll drop it.
Listen to me, madam. A parent has an obligation to support children that they made. It is irrelevant to me whether it's a mother or a father. If the father has custody of the children and the mother has no children, then what she's got to do is work and pay child support because the children need to be supported.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Right.
And
So
she
if I
does
was
do
the
that.
mother of a parent who did not pay child support and my contribution could be helping to babysit with my children, I wouldn't complain because the father was an hour late because of an emergency. Now, you want to tell me the story about the mortgage?
July of last year, I moved in with my mother because I was having problems paying bills. I moved down in there, had the kids enrolled in school. Everything was going well. Tina called me maybe 4 months after I moved down there, wanting to know if she could take over our house that we had purchased together. That's fine. If she was going to do it, that was fine. I gave Tina $1,000 cash, and the $1,000 was meant to be for the mortgage payment, the electric payment, and the ground rent where we live. She paid the ground rent and the electric. She never paid the mortgage, took off with the money. Then she calls me a week later and tells me she can't afford the house. Now the mortgage payment's never been paid.
That's not true.
Don't speak.
The mortgage payment was never made. Verna started calling me, asking me to move back. I have phone records of this, how many times she's called.
I'd like to see them.
They're all highlighted in yellow. Verna
She
started
called you
calling
at your mother's house.
on my cell phone,
Or your
yes.
cell phone. Go ahead.
She called me wanting me to come back to move up there so she could be closer to the kids because at this time I was like 150 miles away from her and her daughter. I told her, being I gave my wife Tina all this money, I didn't have money to move back. She agreed to pay the payment for me if I moved back so she could be closer to the kids and part a Christmas present because it was November when we moved back.
Your Honor, that's not true.
You didn't want to see your grandchildren?
Your Honor, I do want to see my grandchildren. I haven't seen my grandchildren in 3 months. For whatever reason, I don't know. I've seen...
You told me that you were watching them in May.
Well, it's been 2 months.
Oh,
1 or 2 months. I do know.
You told me you babysat for them in May.
1 week she did.
June 6th.
I only watched them for 1 week.
Well, that's not 2 months. 2 months haven't passed, madam.
Well...
I'm asking you, didn't you want to see your grandchildren?
Of course, I do want to see my grandchildren.
No, didn't you, when he was living 150 miles away?
Yes, I do want to.
So that if Mr. Hill says that when you spoke, you said that you would take care of the mortgage payment, you telling me that you didn't have a discussion with him?
We did have a discussion about the mortgage payment. He told me he did not want any handouts, that he would pay it back. And I said, well, just make it in payments. And he said whatever was left, he would just pay it when he got his taxes back.
That's wrong, Your Honor.
It's wrong. I don't think I believe you, Miss Ridenour. I don't think I believe you at all. And what I find ludicrous is that you seem to have a reasonable relationship with your daughter because your daughter is here with you. And I assume that because she's here with you, you have a reasonable relationship with her. But you have 3 grandchildren. And why in the world would you want to antagonize over what amounts to no money? Certainly you're not out of pocket money with regard to the $75 for babysitting services. Worst thing that you did was you took care of your grandchildren for a couple of days. Big deal. So the worst thing that you're out is a few $100s for a mortgage payment that allowed the grandchildren to be closer to you and your daughter. And I don't understand why you would antagonize the custodial parent of your 3 grandchildren. Antagonize him.
Your Honor, they even called Child Protective Services on me.
No, I most certainly did not.
One of them, too.
We did not.
Since I've moved back in November.
No, I most certainly did not.
Since I moved back in November, them 2 are the only ones that have been in my house. When I was moving back, I was carrying a dresser down my hallway. I tripped and my back hit the wall, which put a hole in the wall like about that big. Whoever called Child Protective Services told them that I was abusive, that I didn't have food in the house, that the kids were going to school dirty, there were the hole in the wall, stuff, just made up a bunch of stuff about me. Well, Child Protective Services have a lady in my kids' school all day, every day.
That is not true, Your Honor.
This lady sees my kids all day, every day. The lady pulled the kids out of class, asking them a bunch of questions, if I ever hit them, if we have food. And the call went through to Child Protective Services on April 16th. April 12th is when we went to court for child support.
Gotcha.
That was the following Monday.
Gotcha.
Thursday, when we went to court on the 12th, that next day was Friday. That's the day she agreed she didn't want to watch kids no more.
Gotcha. Your case is dismissed, Mr. Rittenauer, and I would suggest you try very hard to make up with Mr. Hill so that you can see your grandchildren. That's all. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
For me to make up with Mr. Hill, see my grandkids,
It's all stemming back to trying to hurt me.
I guess I won't see them.
Trying to get the kids back with her. That's all it is.
I hate to say it, but that's just the way I feel.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Trammell versus Moore Barclay. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Christopher Trammell is suing his stepfather-in-law, Orlando Moore, and his son, 16-year-old Kendall Barclay, for the cost of fix his Chevy Blazer.
Mr. Trammell, I assume it's this young man who is your wife's half-brother,
Yes.
and you're his father.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, this young man, whose name is
Kendall.
Kendall, came for a visit,
Yes.
visiting his sister, and you opened your house and said, sure, he can stay with us. It was during a holiday period.
Well, the February recess.
And while he was there, without your permission, he took your car and he crashed it.
Yes.
You want his father to be responsible for the damage.
Yes, ma'am.
And his father said, you know that he's nothing but trouble and that you should have watched him more carefully.
Well,
That's his defense. Why don't you sit down for a moment, sir? I'll get to you in a minute. Kendall! Are your hands in your pockets?
no.
Perfect. How old are you?
16.
Do I make you nervous?
No.
It's unfortunate. I will try to change that. Why would your father say that you're trouble?
I am.
What do you mean you are?
Sometimes I make trouble.
You make trouble at home?
No.
Where?
On the streets.
But you've never been in trouble with the police.
No.
You're lucky. Now, why did you decide to go to visit your sister?
Because I wanted to spend time with my nephew.
I don't understand you when you're mumbling. Make believe you're outside talking to your friends.
I wanted to spend time with my nieces and nephews.
That's a good thing. How did you get there?
Chris picked me up.
Your sister's husband?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
So he's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
So he's a pretty nice guy.
No.
Yes. Say yes.
Yes.
Do you have a driver's license?
No.
What does that mean to you when you don't have a driver's license?
Can't drive.
Tell me about when you took his car.
Well, they were sleeping when I took their
They
car.
were sleeping, so it was late at night.
Yes.
Where were you going?
I wanted to ride up to Wegmans.
I don't understand a word you said.
I wanted to ride to Wegmans.
Wanted to ride to Wegmans. And where did you get the keys from?
They're on the entertainment system.
So you stole the keys,
Yes.
and you stole the car.
Yes.
And what happened?
Drove up to Wegmans. I came back.
I don't hear you.
I drove up to Wegmans and then I came back. I was going to park the car because my brother, he parks in a certain spot.
I don't hear you.
I drove the car to Wegmans and I came back. And then I wanted to get in the driveway. So I was parked in the wrong spot, so I had to move it. I went and moved the car and then I took off. And then it hit the next door neighbor's house.
You hit the next door neighbor's house.
Yes.
What did you do?
I didn't do nothing and the cops came. So then they asked me a few questions and I answered them.
Now you can stand up. Does your son go to school?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he have a job?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
He is currently looking for employment.
Well, when was the last time he had employment?
He is 16 years old. There's only very few jobs in Rochester for a 16-year-old to do.
So let me ask you this question, sir. Who do you think is responsible for him?
To be honest, when Christopher came to my address and picked Kendall up, I figured he'd assume full responsibility.
Yes, he wasn't supposed to see that anything happened to him, but let's say that your son, while he was visiting with his sister and her husband, committed a burglary. Would that have been his fault?
Yes, ma'am.
No. 16-year-old boy who's almost as big as his father knows the difference between right and wrong, and one way or another, sir, you have to teach him a lesson. And what lesson is he learning from this whole process here? He wasn't arrested.
No.
So there were no repercussions from the justice system, right?
As far as I know,
So what
yes.
lesson do you think this whole process is teaching your son?
I think he's pretty much learned his lesson. That
Why? What has he had to do as a result of this?
He's gotten most of his privileges taken
What
away.
privileges did he have taken away?
No computer, no...
No computer. What else?
He has his PlayStation and iPod taken away from him.
Taking away someone's iPod, sir, is not exactly punishment for destroying this man's car.
See, Kendall has an ADDH situation.
So do 40% of the children, according to statistics in this country.
Well,
they don't steal cars. They don't
they
steal
do.
cars.
They do.
Yeah, so do a lot of people without ADHD steal cars. You know, don't give him an excuse, Mr. Moore. You give him an excuse for doing the wrong thing, that he's ADHD, and I guarantee you, you're going to be looking for trouble forever. Forever. ADHD has nothing to do with stealing cars. He wanted to go to a store. He took the car to go to a store. He knew he had no right to take the car to go to a store. That has nothing to do with ADHD.
Well,
that has to do with doing the wrong thing.
That's the frame of mind. That's why he takes the medication, so it keeps his mind focused off of things like this.
I have 11 grandchildren, sir. I reared and helped rear 5 children. I know all about this ADHD stuff. And I know all about parents who will make excuses for their children's bad behavior and ascribe it to a learning disability. So if that's, believe me, he was focusing on getting the keys and going to the store. Believe me, you're going to pay him and he's going to pay you. And then there is a reaction to his action. And I guarantee you, sir, that's as good as any medication he takes.
So there's...
Any medication he takes.
So there's no responsibility on his side at all.
It would be different if he threw him the keys and said, take the car and go to the store.
I wasn't there.
He just told me what happened. He waited until they went to sleep, and then he went to the entertainment center where the keys were kept, and he took the keys. He told me that. Not him. You make excuses for him, sir. You're going to find yourself before a judge much more frequently than the one time you're going to appear before me. And you give him the excuse of having ADHD for excuse for bad behavior, you are committing a terrible...
It's not an
terrible.
Excuse.
It's an excuse. One thing had nothing to do with the other with regard to his taking that truck that day. And if you give him an excuse, you are parentally doing him a terrible disservice. I, however, am doing him a service. Because unless you want to be out $4,500 yourself, what you're going to do is you're going to have him get a job, and every penny that he earns he's going to give you until the $4,500 is paid off. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,500.
It's case number 41 on the calendar in the matter of Peterson versus Marmolejo. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat.
Miss Peterson, the defendant is your former mother-in-law.
Correct.
You were married to her son for how long?
6 years.
And he, according to what I've read, died suddenly.
Yes.
When did he pass away?
July 5th, 2005.
And what was the cause of death?
It's a cerebral hemorrhage, but the cause of that, the underlying cause was drug abuse.
No, it was not. I have a copy
it,
of
Your
that,
Honor.
Your Honor.
I wasn't asking you anything.
I understand.
It is your claim that the defendant called in a report to Child Protective Services.
Yes.
Against you. It was false,
yes.
And you want to be compensated.
Correct.
The defendant says that she never placed that call, and you seem to indicate that you are going to be able to prove to me that
yes.
she did. She also complains that she no longer sees her grandson, despite the fact that there was a time when she did see him regularly. Okay. When did you find out that a call was placed to Child Protective Services?
It was March of 2007, March 1st, actually. It was called in 228.
22807?
Yes.
And how did you find out that this call was placed?
The worker put the note in my doorway.
And asked you to call?
Yes.
And you did?
Yes.
Was there an investigation?
Yes.
Do you have the results of that investigation?
Yes, I do. Unsubstantiated.
Now, Ms. Marmolejo, you did not call Child Protective Services?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
Okay, and you know nothing about how Child Protective Services was contacted?
Yes, I do. Patrick called me.
Just a second.
Okay.
Patrick is your grandson?
No, Patrick is witness on Kim's side.
Who is this?
That's my boyfriend.
Okay. The boyfriend called you and
told me, forget taking Dante to school tomorrow. He said, we have a DCF appointment. He said, you and one of your old cronies probably called DCF. I knew nothing about it, so help me God. I went to school the next day.
What are you doing at child's school?
I have volunteered at all the schools for many, many years, besides my work.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went to school to see the principal, and I asked her, I said, what's the situation? I heard from Patrick.
You cannot tell me what the principal told you.
All right. She said...
You can't... What words
I'm sorry.
Understand? You cannot tell me what the principal said to you.
I found out that the school
You can't tell me what you found out.
That's how I found
hearsay.
out, though. I did not call.
You did not call.
I did email.
You did not, just a second, you did not call, is
No,
what
I
you
did
said.
not.
And you had no knowledge of it until the plaintiff's boyfriend called you and said, you're not taking the child to school anymore because of you, we have an appointment with Protective Services.
Your
now,
Honor.
This is dated March 21st. They are closing the investigation because the allegations were unsubstantiated.
Correct.
Do you have what the allegations were?
I have the report where it says clearly that she had called. And
I'd like to see that. That's very important.
And
that's an email from
that's the reports from DCF.
Investigation protocol. Well, it is perfectly clear that you called the worker.
Absolutely.
You're perfectly clear that you called the worker and made this report.
I did not call DCF initially. I swear to you, I did not.
I don't care whether you called initially. It says that you called them.
Called
March 2nd.
After the fact because I was being blamed by Patrick, and I wanted to be sure to clear myself. I also wanted to tell the person
We
at
need
DCF,
help and quick.
Yes.
Before that woman takes the child away again.
Absolutely. She had done that before.
That has nothing to do with you.
Dante was frightened to me. He cried twice. I swear to you, Your Honor. May I tell you the story?
Just a second. First of all, you can't lie to me.
I'm not lying.
Well, you did.
Absolutely
You did. You
not.
absolutely did.
I did not make the initial call, Your Honor.
I didn't use the word initial.
I did.
Listen to me. I didn't use the word initial.
Well,
I said, did you call Child Protective Services? You said no. And it's clear to me from reading this exactly what happened. You spoke to the principal, and the principal called, and you followed up with Mr. Haas.
May I explain?
There's no question in my mind that happened, madam.
Yes.
And there's no question in my mind that it happened because, according to you, your grandson was crying because he said, Mommy's going to move away. And you didn't want him to move away because you've taken over his education, you pay for his school in a private school, and you get to see him regularly. And according to you, which is what you just told me, she had taken him away once before, and you weren't going to have that situation happen again. That's what you said in your email. That's exactly what you said in your email.
If you allow me, I can explain that to you. 2 days prior to the principal calling, Miss Peterson went to the playground and said to the teacher, Dante should be able to call me anytime he wants.
To visit my son.
No, just
sorry.
Listen to me. Listen to me very carefully. You got to keep it together.
I'm sorry.
Say it to me again, just the way you just said it to me.
She said to the teacher, allow Dante to call me anytime he wants.
Absolutely right.
Absolutely. They have no problem with that.
I don't like the way you said it.
That's how she said it.
Do you understand? I don't like the way you said it. You said it as if she was saying something wrong.
That's how she approached them. Then she went into the office with a handwritten note, Your Honor, saying that Patrick would be the guardian.
That's this gentleman.
Right, that has only been in Dante's life a few months. The school felt that was highly unlikely. I wouldn't shoot myself in the foot and do that because she quickly would take our grandparent rights away, and she's done it in the past. Would you please?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Come back and could you come?
No, just a second.
I want you to hear something.
Just a second. You're not following me. Stop shaking, Miss Peterson. Listen to me. I get it. It's sad and unfortunate, but I get it.
Can I show you one thing, please? Your Honor, down here where Dante was being interviewed by the social worker, it says Dante, and this is alone by himself outside. Dante reported that grandmother Marmolejo does not like his mother. Dante stated that Marmolejo calls his mother stupid and says her butt smells.
I never said such a thing. So
Dante's questioned all this. It's right down the bottom here. Where it says interview with Dante. Well, Dante said it.
Miss Peterson, listen to me. Listen to me.
My God,
there is no
lies.
question in my mind that the defendant inspired, precipitated the call to Child Protective Services. You her husband?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Pay careful attention.
You need to say that.
It's not her fault that your son died. You have a grandson that I assume you want to see, and your wife is making all the wrong calls with regard to whether or not you're going to continue to be in your grandson's life. There is no question in my mind that no court will take your grandson away from his mother and turn him over to you. Nobody is going to do that. And listen to me. And the only thing that you and your wife can do is to stay on her good side, which you haven't done. So you better have a really good talk with her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You may be Mother of the Year, you may not be Mother of the Year, but he's your son. And once you give these people an inch, you're going to take a whole yard. Do it. until they get it.
And later today,
So you sent him more money?
Yes.
And then he wrecked that car?
Yes, ma'am.
You're just like an accident looking to happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Big goofball.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kim Peterson claims her mother-in-law, Rose Marmoleo, made false accusations to Child Protective Services. Rose says Kim is keeping her from seeing her grandson.
Now, when one parent dies and the other parent is left and hooks up with somebody new, that's an irritant. And she's allowed to say, pay careful attention to me. She's the mother. She is allowed to say, if there's an emergency, you call my boyfriend who will come and take care of my child. You may not like it. That's too bad. She's the mother.
That's the way it occurred, Your Honor.
Hey, listen to me. You just said to me, you started to tell me the story. I got it. Don't you understand? I've been in this business a long time. You were absolutely furious.
After the school already made the initial call.
Listen to me. Madam, I got you. You were furious that you went into school.
That's not true.
You just told me.
I was not furious, Your Honor.
You were furious that you went into
never
school
would say you feel that way.
and changed the guardian to him. That's what you just told me.
That's why the school got upset. They did. I did not. Would you please step Could my husband please step forward?
Positively not. School doesn't get upset. School may have said to you, that's strange.
Not true.
But 2 days later, you called up and said, we need help quick. And before that woman takes that child away again, please call me ASAP so we can talk.
Dante
Dr.
cried
Kingston,
about that.
What? That's you.
He cried to me about that, Your Honor. So help me God. He did.
So as a result of that, you spoke to Child Protective Services?
My husband's on the school board. The principal told him the Thursday after.
Don't tell me what the principal told him at all. It's hearsay. I'm telling you what the official report from Child Protective Services says. Your conversation with them.
That's after.
I don't care if it's after or before.
They made the call initially.
Miss Peterson?
Yes.
You have to take control.
I have.
Listen to me. You have to understand something. You allowed her to put your son in a private school where she pays the tuition and she volunteers. First mistake.
You're right. It was a big mistake.
First mistake. He's got to be out of that school, and he's got to be at a place where, if his grandmother wants to see him, there is a specific time that she gets to see him that you control. But you can't take with one hand, which is what you did, and you did it for the sake of your child, I assume, because he was going to a private school that perhaps you couldn't afford. But absolutely a bad idea.
You're absolutely right.
Absolutely a bad idea. She cannot have any control about what happens in your home. And you've given her that control.
Yes.
And you have to take it back if you haven't done it already.
Yeah, well, it's over.
Okay, fine. So he no longer goes to that school.
No.
Perfect. Because if you give them an inch,
I treated her lovingly.
You may be Mother of the Year, you may not be Mother of the Year, but he's your son. And once you give these people an inch, they're going to take a whole yard. Do it until they get it, that you're his mother and that you raise him. They had the opportunity to raise their son, good or bad.
She knows I have always been good to her.
Made mistakes or not make mistakes. Being good is not embroiling him in problems. And I absolutely find that this call was precipitated by you, and it was false, and it was based on the fact that you were afraid she was moving.
Absolutely not.
In the amount of $3,000. That's all. Step out.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All these are excused. You may step out.
I hope this sends a message to other grandparents that might try to do this.
None of this is true. I swear to you.
You can't play with a child's life. You can't do that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Williams versus Bell, step forward.
21-year-old Michelle Williams is suing her ex-boyfriend, Howard Bell, for a series of loans. Michelle says instead of repaying the money, Howard went back to his previous girlfriend.
Miss Williams, this gentleman used to be your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
And unfortunately for you, you gave him a whole bunch of money. You say that you made loans to him for that money. Mr. Bell says, while he acknowledges that you gave him money, he says it's just that. You gave him money, it was a gift, there was never any agreement that he would pay you back, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How much money did you give her, Mr. Bells?
Before I left to go to Michigan, before she gave me any money, I gave her like $125.
What'd you give her that money for, sir?
Because she gave me cigarettes and stuff while I wasn't working.
So she supported you when you weren't working?
Yes, ma'am.
Fed you?
No. My aunt fed me.
Your aunt fed you. She just bought you cigarettes.
Yes, ma'am.
Shouldn't smoke, sir. It's not good for you. So you gave her $120 to pay her back
Yes, ma'am.
for money that she spent on you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you didn't give her any money just for nothing.
No, ma'am.
But she gave you money just for nothing.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think she did that?
She didn't give it to me for no reason.
Well, what was the reason?
To get my car out of impound so I could be with her.
What else did she give you money for?
She would call me like 3 times a day and ask me how much money I needed, if I needed more money or whatever. And I'd be like, just whatever you want to do. And she kept sending it.
So how much money did you give him in total, Miss Williams?
I think the exact amount was $1,892.
But who's counting, right? And you just kept giving him the money.
It started out as he just wanted enough to get his car to impound. And he'd call me the next day and say that it wasn't enough, he needed a little bit more, and that went on for about 3 days. Finally, when he did get the car out of impound, he ended up wrecking it.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
At least he's polite. Go ahead.
And he called me and said that he was going to try and find another car, but he'd need to borrow the money to get it. And when he did get it, he would put it in my name when he got back up here. So he called me and tells me he found a car for $600, and he'd like me to send him that money plus another $50 for gas so he can get it up here. And he was going to have to put it in his name till he got here, and then he would put it in my name.
So you sent him more money?
Yes.
And then he wrecked that car?
Yes, ma'am.
You're just like an accident looking to happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Like a big goofball.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now Mr. Bells is going to move over to the plaintiff's chair because he has a case against your sister. Oh, and this I'm really anxious to hear.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michelle Williams is suing her ex-boyfriend, Howard Bell, for a series of loans. Michelle says instead of repaying the money, Howard went back to his previous girlfriend.
Okay. Now, he couldn't put the car in your name because he wrecked it.
Yeah. Well, he didn't want to tell me that he wrecked the car, so he didn't call me, didn't answer anything. And he finally shows up a week later and tells me he bought a car with his money, and he was going to put that in my name when he got up here after he fixed it.
And what happened with that car?
I wrecked it.
Miss Williams, you sent him a whole lot of money, and it's money down sewer. But I don't believe that there were loans. I believe he just took off. And then you said, I gave him all this money because I thought he was going to come here and move in with me. We were going to be a family. That was the intention.
Yes, ma'am. I have text messages on my phone where she said that she would drop the case if I would just come back and be with her. And,
those were not sent from me.
I've got text messages from her phone where she threatened to kill herself, told me that she was in the hospital for overdosing on Xanaxes and all types of other stuff.
Listen, did you take advantage of somebody who you shouldn't have?
Nope.
Yes, you did. You took advantage of them. That doesn't make it a loan. You took advantage of them. You're not supposed to do that, sir. If you take advantage of somebody who is needy and maybe not stable, that makes you not a nice person. Even if you say ma'am 40 times. Miss Williams, well, I'm sympathetic with your plight. I am unsympathetic with the fact that you created a contract with Mr. Bells because I don't think that you created a contract that is legally enforceable anywhere, and you know it. So your case is dismissed. Now, we're going to take care of Mr. Bells' other case. Now Mr. Bells is going to move over to the plaintiff's chair because he has a case against your sister. Oh, and this I'm really anxious to hear. Now, Mr. Bells, you finally got another car.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car did you get?
I've had 17 since November.
Well, what kind of car is that we're talking about in this case, sir?
A 97 Pontiac Sunfire.
And it is your claim that the defendant, who is the sister of the former plaintiff, took a baseball bat to your car.
Yes, ma'am.
After you ditched her sister.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm all broken up about that, Mr. Bell. Can you tell? I'm going to allow you to tell me what happened, sir.
Michelle sent me a text message to tell me to come and talk to her.
Who's Michelle?
The defendant's sister. So I came up to her job to talk to her about what was going on and everything, and as soon as we pulled in the parking lot...
Who's we?
Me and Annette.
Who's Annette?
My girlfriend.
That's your current girlfriend?
She's always been my girlfriend.
Does she give you money, too?
No, ma'am.
You give her money?
Yes, ma'am.
So you had current girlfriend when you were taking money from Miss Williams. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's really nasty, Mr. Bell. Does your mother like him?
No.
You know why? I just knew that. 10 years from now, you won't like him either. You have children with him?
No.
Don't make any.
I can't have children anyway.
That's what they all say.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
So you pulled into the parking lot with your girlfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Because Michelle wanted to speak to you, so you thought it would be nice to bring your girlfriend along.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
What happened was I came to Illinois that week. I had court on April 23rd, so I was coming to my court date. And when Michelle told me to come up there, me and Annette, we came up there to talk to her. And she said that she only wanted to talk to me, not Annette. So I was the only one that could come in where she worked at. So as soon as I pulled in the parking lot...
That's understandable, Mr. Bell.
Yes, ma'am. And as soon as I pulled in the parking lot, Beth and some other girl, I don't know who the other girl was, were all standing in the parking lot, and Beth threw a baseball bat at my car.
Ah! I am absolutely despondent. Did you do that, Beth?
No, ma'am.
No, she didn't.
I had their place.
Why would she do that? Why would she throw a baseball bat at this 1997 Pontiac? Do you still have it?
Yes, ma'am.
The Pontiac?
Yes, ma'am.
With the dent in it?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
You haven't wrecked it yet?
No, ma'am.
You will. And then you will hardly even remember this dent that she says she didn't put in your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Goodbye, sir. Have a happy life. Your case is dismissed. It's over. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge.
You purchased cell phones, and he was supposed to pay his bill. He didn't pay his bill. You also want him to pay for his cell phone.
Yes.
The defendant says that the money that you did, in fact, give him to have his car fixed was just that, a gift, that he provided all the support for you and his child while you were living in an apartment together, that the phone was something that he purchased, and he paid for that, and he paid for the 1 month's worth of service that he actually used the phone, and then you shut the phone off. He has a counterclaim because he says that in April, at the time that the two of you separated, you had him falsely arrested for domestic violence, and he believes he should be compensated for the 27-hour police precinct. Is that correct, sir?
Correct.
Okay. On what date, Mr. Mealy, were you arrested for domestic violence?
April 3rd, 2006.
And at that time, how long had you and Miss Arnold been living together?
We'd been living together for a little over a year.
Now, Miss Arnold, in the year that you were living together, you were living in an apartment. Is that right?
Correct. We lived in the apartment just from December to April.
And when was your child born?
January 24th, 2006.
Keep your voice up, please.
Okay.
So from the time you moved into the apartment, I assume, until the time that you separated in April, you were not working?
I had one job for about 2 weeks.
So you were not working?
No.
And Mr. Mealy was supporting the household?
Yes.
He was paying the rent?
Yes.
He was paying for food?
Yes.
He was paying the gas, electric, and utilities?
Yes.
Paid for the expenses of the baby at home?
Mostly.
Well, you didn't. So if...
No, but state helped.
How much did the state help?
I believe I got, well, right, as soon as I moved out, I got $440, and he has paid $1 towards child support in the last 3 months.
I'm not asking you that.
Okay.
I'm asking you from December until April.
Pretty much all of it.
So he paid for everything?
Yes.
And you put the car repairs on your credit card?
Part of them, yes.
$600 worth?
I put $210 down on my credit card, and I'm making payments for the rest.
How much in total?
I believe the total was $558.
$558. So for the 4 months that you lived together, your capital contribution was $558.
Yes.
That seem reasonable to you?
No, but I did have the baby.
So what? So did millions of other people, madam.
I just think it's kind of hard to work being 9 months pregnant. And...
You working now?
No.
Where are you living?
I just got a triplex with my boyfriend.
With your boyfriend?
Yes.
Well, you didn't just have a baby and you're not 9 months pregnant, so how come you're not working?
I am looking for a job.
Well, you've been looking for a long time. Your baby was born January. So first your baby was born, then you had state aid, now you found another boyfriend to support you. Let's hear what happened in April on the 3rd, sir.
April of the 3rd, I picked Destiny up from Albertsons at the job she said she did have for 2 weeks on her lunch break. I lived 1 block from the Albertsons that she worked at.
When you say you lived there, is that where you lived together?
No, she'd actually moved out.
Okay, so she moved out and you were picking her up from work anyway?
Yeah, she asked me to come and pick her up for lunch.
Okay.
And I did so. I went down and I picked Destiny up for lunch. I brought her to my apartment.
Where was the baby?
With her mother.
Okay, so you brought it to your apartment. Is that where she wanted to go?
Yes.
For what?
For lunch.
Okay.
And at that time, me and Destiny started arguing.
What were you arguing about?
We had a car that we purchased together, and Destiny's sister's ex-fiance was the dealer of that car, and he had not sent the stuff into the state, and Destiny went back to him and asked him to change it because she was going to leave me. And
you mean to change the title?
Change the title. And he
into her name?
He rewrote the whole title to her name.
When was the car purchased?
In November of 2005.
In November of 2005, where did the money come to purchase the car?
Destiny had a car previous to that. It was a Pontiac Grand Am. We sold that car and used that money to put the down payment for that car. I supported that car and I paid for all the repairs, fixings.
From November until April?
No, from when Destiny first moved out.
Which was when?
In August 2005.
So from August 2005 until April?
Yes.
You made the payments on the car?
I made the insurance payments as well as the car repairs for both the Jeep and the Grand Am.
Who made the car payment?
Destiny had moved out and she used the state's aid for the car payment.
So you were both paying something for the car?
Correct.
Now I understand what the argument was about. You were annoyed that for whatever you put into the car, you were getting nothing.
Yes, and...
Okay, fine. So that's what the argument was about. Now, what happened during the course of that argument? Because it escalated and the police were ultimately called.
Destiny also was selling my stuff on eBay.
What stuff?
Video game consoles. I had a very large collection of almost every game console. And
I don't know what that is.
The PlayStations, the Sega Saturn, and Destiny was selling on eBay. I then asked for Destiny's keys back. She said no.
You mean she was taking your property out of your house?
Yes.
Were you selling his property on eBay?
The
answer is either yes or no.
Technically, no. We both owned the game consoles. I had talked to him about this. We sold them on eBay and we split the sharing.
Split the what?
We split the money that we received from it. He made a credit card payment and I made a payment to Les Schwab from the tires that I bought for him.
I'm not talking about tires. I'm asking you whether you were selling his property on eBay.
I know. Technically, it was both of our property and we split the money that we got from eBay.
So then there were arguments. So you asked for her keys back because you said she was taking stuff from your house.
Correct.
And she wasn't living there anymore.
Correct.
Good. Okay. And what happened when you asked for the keys back?
She denied me the keys and said that...
What did she say?
She had more stuff inside the house. She wanted to move out. Her keys were then sitting on top of her purse. I pulled them out, and that's when Destiny grabbed for the keys back, and I refused to...
Give them back.
Give them back.
Go ahead.
Destiny did scratch my arm. I had scratches on my arm, and that is in the police report. However, the police report would not be released to me.
Just listen to me. After you grabbed the keys, by the way, whose name is on the lease?
Mine.
And she had moved out when?
She moved out in July.
She moved out in July? She was still coming around in April?
Yes.
Is that right?
No.
When did you move out?
I moved out of the apartment in April.
When did you stop sleeping there?
In April.
Is that right?
Yes.
I thought you said she moved out in July.
It was the end of July, beginning of April. June.
Mr. Mealy, you want to go over the months again?
I have my months confused.
So you had not been sleeping in the apartment. You already broke up.
Yes.
Is that right? And you moved out and you moved in with your mother?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You told the police that he probably scratched himself to get you in trouble.
I wasn't sure.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Destiny Arnold claims the father of her child, Nicholas Mealy, owes for car repair costs and a cell phone bill. Nicholas is countersuing, claiming Destiny had him falsely arrested for domestic violence.
Now, when you had this argument over the keys, you say that she scratched you.
Yes.
Did you touch her?
I pushed her hands away off of scratching me, yes.
Who called the police?
I did. We both did.
Who called the police first?
I did.
And where was she when you called the police?
She was outside, standing by her car.
How did you get outside?
When he ripped my purse from my hands to get my keys, I told him I was going to call the police. I ran to the next door neighbor and nobody was home. When I ran back into his apartment to grab my purse off the counter where he had put it, he was on the phone with the police telling them that I was hitting him and pushing him. So I grabbed my purse and my phone and I walked outside to the parking lot and I called the police.
So he called the police first?
Yes.
Did you have any bruises on you?
No, ma'am.
You have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. What happened, Miss Arnold, when you went to the neighbor's house?
Nobody was home.
What did you go to the neighbor's house for?
To call the police. He had taken my phone and my purse from me.
What were you calling the police about?
He had ripped my purse from me. And
So you were calling the police because he took your purse?
Yes.
Miss Arnold, you weren't honest with the police.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't. According to the police officer, you said that he assaulted you. That's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
He did not assault you. He did not assault you. He took your purse because he wanted the keys. Not a smart thing to do, but he did not assault you. And the police officer noted scratch marks on him, nothing on you.
Correct.
I have no idea why he was arrested. And you told the police that he probably scratched himself to get you in trouble.
I wasn't sure what had happened. I did not recall touching him at all.
Well, that's going to be an expensive fib and an expensive scratch, Miss Arnold.
I really don't remember touching him.
That's too bad. I believe him.
Okay.
And I believe that it's an unfortunate breakup. She used her influence with the dealership to change the title to a car, which she knew you had an interest in. According to the police, she acknowledged to the police that she destroyed the sales agreement, which listed you as a co-owner of the car, and had the papers changed because that was what the dispute was about. You know, if things don't work out, Miss Arnold, they don't work out. But you're supposed to be fair and reasonable. I don't think you were fair and reasonable at all. So that's going to cost you. So I don't even have to deal with your claim. You're not supposed to make false reports about people. There's no question in my mind that if he had assaulted you and you went to a neighbor's house because you wanted your pocketbook back, if he had assaulted you, you would not have gone back into the apartment. You would have gone yet to another neighbor. But certainly if one is in fear of their life or their physical situation, they don't go back to the same environment. They leave. You chose not to do that. You chose to go back, which suggests to me you weren't in fear. You knew he wasn't going to hit you. You knew he wasn't going to put his hands on you. Yeah. And the only reason, put your hand down, and the only reason you called the police is because when you came into the apartment, he was on the phone with the police.
He is an abusive man. He has taped the binky into our daughter's mouth. My mom had seen him push
Listen to me. Stop making up stories. Sounds to me as if however old you are. How old are you, 20?
18.
18. Well, you already have a baby with one man. You moved in with your mother. Now you moved into another apartment with yet a new boyfriend. Sounds to me your life is going in a downward spiral. I suggest you fix it.
Okay.
Judgment on the counterclaim for the amount of $2,000. Your claim is subsumed by the counterclaim, which means it's taken care of by the counterclaim. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He will not see her. He will not have any contact with her.
They can say what they want and lie about what they want.
I will be going to get full custody.
Those are just comments.
And I know he will never see his child again.
I plan to get a lawyer and see my daughter.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Torres versus Briley. Step forward.
Music producer Clifton Torres is suing the mother of his children, Brandy Briley, for destroying his music equipment. Brandy claims the equipment was broken prior to the incident in question.
Mr. Torres, you and Miss Briley had a relationship, according to what I read, and I assume that you lived together for a period of time. It is your claim that a year ago she ruined some of your musical equipment. You want her to pay so that you can purchase new equipment.
That's correct.
Ms. Briley said that while the equipment that you are complaining about was in fact tossed over during this altercation, the altercation occurred because you pushed her and the equipment wasn't working so well to begin with. You have children?
Yes, 2.
Are they your children together?
Yes.
How old are they?
2 and 5.
Who do they live with?
They live with me.
And how long have they lived with you? Alone?
Alone?
Without the defendant?
I guess approximately a year, maybe a little less.
Did they live with you, Mr. Torres, pursuant to a court order?
Yes.
Was there a contested custody proceeding?
No.
Ms. Briley agreed for you to care for the children?
Correct.
Now tell me the date of this incident with your music equipment, please.
It was November 21st, and I came home from work. It was 5:30.
What kind of work were you doing?
At the time, I was working at a construction warehouse.
Could you keep your voice up, Mr. Torres?
I was working at a construction warehouse, and I came home at like about 5:30, and we had gotten into an argument.
About what?
Just about living arrangements, personal stuff. We just had a lot of disagreements about things.
Okay.
And the verbal argument turned kind of physical, pushing and shoving and whatnot. And as I left to leave, that's when the equipment was damaged. As I turned, because I was just trying to leave. As I turned to leave, I heard a smash on the floor. I turned around, and my equipment was on the floor, destroyed.
But it did not fall as a result of the altercation.
No, it happened after the altercation.
It happened when
Directly
you were exiting.
after. As I'm trying to leave, that's when it happened.
All right, Miss Briley, tell me about it.
Basically, he came home, we got in a disagreement.
You remember what the disagreement was about?
Our living arrangements and personal problems.
What does that mean?
We were just disagreeing on lots of different things. Like, for the most part, it was our living arrangements. But as he pushes me back because he doesn't want to listen to what I have to say.
Well, he's coming home from work. You're home all day. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
You're home all day with 2 children.
Yes.
2 very small children,
Yes.
right? Did you ever have any drug or alcohol problem?
No.
Never.
No.
You hesitated for a moment.
Well, I have drank before, but I've never had a problem with it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, he pushes me back. I go to get my balance on the stand where the MPC equipment was, and it goes to slide off. And I did help it go to the ground. Like, I didn't try and catch it or anything, but my main argument is it was already broken before any of that ever happened.
Tell me about it already being broken before.
Well, as you know, I stay at home every day, so I did all the cleaning, and it had been in the box for a period of time. And I know he said he wasn't using it for a while, so I would assume it wasn't working.
Well, you can't make any assumptions, so you don't know that it wasn't working.
From what I understood from him, it wasn't.
Did you ever tell her the equipment wasn't working?
No, I have a picture of the equipment. It actually, it was actually in the box. I have a picture of the box.
Can I see it, please?
It's basically a piece of equipment that's used in the preliminary stages of music production. It basically makes the outlining beat, and from there it goes into a computer.
So what she's telling me, sir, is that she actually did break the equipment, because that's what she said in so many words. She said, well, it started to fall, and I sort of helped it. What kind of work do you do, Miss Briley?
I work with the developmentally disabled at a day treatment program.
How much money do you earn?
Is that relevant?
Yes. Anything I ask is relevant.
How would you like it then? Weekly?
Weekly,
hourly,
bi-weekly, however
monthly?
you're paid.
I make about $2,000 a month after taxes.
How much do you pay in child support?
Currently, I don't pay child support. I assist with getting their needs. Like, I went school shopping for my son. I help buy diapers.
Mr. Torres?
Yes.
You are the full-time custodial parent of these children?
That's correct.
You're supposed to collect child support for them. Do you understand that, sir?
Your Honor, when we made the agreement for custody or whatnot, there was a verbal agreement, basically, that she was going to help out in certain things, and I wasn't supposed to receive child support for 6 months, so...
6 months is now passed, sir.
Right. It
So?
was a couple months before we got into court, before we made that agreement, almost 6 months since then, so it hasn't been exactly 6 months.
Well, what I'm telling you, Mr. Torres, is it is not your right to have a support order fixed for your children.
Right.
It is the children's right to have a child support order fixed for them.
Right.
Support order.
I'm in the process. I go back on the 28th. We go back to court, so...
Fine.
I'm in the process of doing that.
Do you have a bill for this equipment, sir?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please?
I actually have I'll just give this all to you. I have a police report, and I have, I don't have the receipt because it was purchased in about 2001. I do have an ad for the same exact equipment. It's pretty much almost exactly identical.
Let me see it.
You'll be able to see that for yourself. I brought it to get looked at a shop, and they basically rendered it, irreparable because the motherboard, the internal CPU board is cracked due to the fall.
Did you get a protective order, Mr. Torres?
I had one at one time, but it was disengaged.
Was it as a result of this?
No, it was something that happened prior to, before that.
How much did you pay for the equipment, sir?
$2,400.
Well, you can replace it for $1,700, correct?
That's correct. That's not exactly the identical model because
May not be,
it's
but
a
it
vintage
also
model.
5 years ago.
I understand.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,700. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think she did the best job she could.
I think it was a fair decision.
Well, I think we'll be pretty civil.
I'm going to be able to, purchase my equipment that gets me back on track.
And allegedly damaged it, and you want the defendants to pay for the cost of repairing your car.
Correct.
Me, I'd want the kid to pay, but he's only 16, so if I rule against the parents, it's the parents' responsibility to torture him by hopefully making him get a job and do something. You can stand up next to your parents, please. The defendant says that he did throw a chair at your car, right?
Yes, I did.
But that you deserved it, right?
Yes.
Miss Cole, do you know these people?
Not very well. They live up the street from me.
How long have you lived there?
About a year.
How long have you lived in your house?
A year.
And who do you live with, Miss Cole?
I live with my boyfriend, Derek Nesbitt.
When did this incident occur?
It was August 21st of 2006 at 9:30 p.m.
Tell me what happened.
I had just dropped my boyfriend off at work, and I was on my way home, and I turned onto our street. They live on like the second house on the street, and the chair came and hit my window and kind of rolled down my car, and I swerved over, pulled over, and got out. And I was angry and scared at the same time. I was 6 months pregnant at the time. And I asked him if he had anything else to throw, and they were just screaming at me to slow down. And I got back in my truck, and I told them I was going to let my boyfriend handle it because I'm not a confrontational kind of person.
Good.
So,
very smart.
So I got back in my car, I went home and called the police. The officer came to my home and asked me to drive around to their house. I had her friend with me at the time, and we went around there, and me and I believe it's his father and the officer were just looking at my vehicle when I'm not sure how many people were there, more than 5 or 6 people were in the street with my sister and her friend arguing and cursing, and I got so overwhelmed with them yelling, calling me a criminal. I could have hit their children or their pets. Or
you think you were going too fast?
I do not. I had just turned a corner, so I don't believe I was speeding, no.
Okay. Do you work, Miss Cole?
I do. Right now I'm on maternity leave, though.
All right, young man. Why don't you tell me about what happened on August 21st?
Well, we were sitting outside, and we were
Who was sitting outside?
Me and everybody seen here, and I had some friends over because we were going to go ride.
Riding where?
Ride my bike, just ride around town. And she comes hauling around the corner. She doesn't even lose any speed around the corner. And before, when she went down the street first, she was going pretty fast, and we all yelled at her to slow down. And then on our way back, about 20, 30 minutes later, she comes hauling around the corner, loses no speed at all, and I'm sitting in a chair, and my reaction is just to throw it.
Well, you can't do that.
No.
You can't do that. That's outrageous. It was very simple. I wish they were all so simple. If you think she's speeding, she's not doing the right thing, call the police. And if you think she's acting in an irresponsible manner, send her a letter that she's endangering people in the street. But you don't pick up an object and throw it at her. What if you had a gun in your hand? Would you have shot her?
No.
Well, what if you threw a chair at her and she lost control of her car and went into a tree and got hurt?
But what if it was my friends on the bike, or me on the bike, or my little cousin?
They weren't! You were sitting on your porch, in your chair. But what if you threw a chair at her car and she lost control of her car and swerved off and went into somebody's porch where they were sitting on their porch? You know whose fault that would be?
Mine.
Right. We don't have vigilantes here. You ever been in trouble with the law before? Look at me. Have you ever been in trouble with the law before?
No, not a big trouble.
Not a big trouble?
No.
What kind of little trouble?
Just like curfew.
What does that mean, like curfew?
Just being out like 10 minutes past curfew.
Right. You think I believe that? Can I see pictures of the truck?
Yes, ma'am.
I just have a couple of things to ask. First of all, we were sitting in the driveway, not on a porch.
I don't care if you're sitting on the driveway or the porch or in your
We've already
attic.
asked her plenty of times as she was driving down our street to slow down.
How have you asked her, Mr. Moser?
Well, yelling at her while
That's
we're
not asking her.
It is asking her.
No, Mr. Moser.
Okay, we're telling her.
No, Mr. Moser. What you do is you write her a letter.
We didn't know where she lived.
Then you call the police.
We
and you
did.
Give them, when?
We called the police the very first time. They said that the only thing you can get is a license plate number.
So why didn't you do that?
We didn't. She's going too fast.
Oh, Mr. Moser, that's a lot of baloney.
Well, okay.
That's a lot of baloney, sir.
Right.
Because, listen to me, if you saw this lady time and time again coming past your house, and she lives a block away from where you live, then you go and look for her car in the year that she's been living there. So don't give me a lot of baloney.
She lives behind another house.
When was the last time, sir, that you followed the car to try to get a license plate to give the police?
I'm
which
not
is
a
what
cop.
they said.
That's not my job.
No, but it's your son's job to throw a chair at the
It's
car.
her job to be responsible for the vehicle.
It's not your job to police her, Mr. Moser. That's not your job.
Right.
Your job is to police your own children.
And I was doing that.
You weren't policing your children.
Well, someone needs to police her.
That's the job of the police,
Well,
not your
you're asking
16-year-old
me to follow
son.
her.
Oh, you're an idiot. No wonder he threw a chair at
So
her.
he's an idiot too, then?
Well, he is, certainly. The apple don't fall far from the tree, Mr. Moser.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If he threw a chair at her, was killed, you would be visiting him in state's prison. And if you don't get that, I can't do anything about it. You're too old and too thick.
And later today,
Who are the witnesses?
They're neighbors across the street from them.
You live across the street from them?
Yes.
Carrie Cole claims neighbor Justin Snoke threw a chair at her car while she was driving down the street. Justin says Carrie was driving like a maniac.
Listen to me very carefully, sir. If she's doing the wrong thing, it's not the right of a citizen to do any more than report the action to the police. It is not the right of a citizen to pick up a chair and throw it in her car.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I
Let me give
understand
you
that.
another example, sir. Let us say you're standing over an overpass with a large boulder, and you see someone going 85 miles an hour in a 55-mile zone. You think that you have the right to drop that boulder on their car?
No.
Why not? That's your theory. Your theory is you're endangering people, and therefore I have the right to protect my family. You think your son would have the right to do that?
Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. We were playing ball out in the street. And
No, you were not. That's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie.
No, because listen, the very first time this lady came down our street, we were playing ball in the middle of the street. She did not slow down for us at all. We grabbed the kids.
That's not true, Yana.
Shut a second. Of course it's not true.
Okay.
He's making it up as he's going along. Making it up as he's going along. But on the way home, he's sitting with his behind in a chair. Wasn't dangerous.
The incident playing the ball was not on the same time.
Several times for 3 months to slow down.
Call the police.
We did.
You
on the
don't
night of the
throw
incident.
a chair.
The night of the incident, before the chair was thrown.
Just a second. Would you do me a favor? Go and tell him I've had enough of him, please. I've told him. I had enough. Mr. Moser, listen to me. You're wrong. And if you don't get it, I feel sorry for you. And if your son's broken curfew before, and I just have a sense right here, based on my experience, that a 10-minute curfew violation isn't the only difficulty you've had with him, sir.
He's never been a problem.
Well, I guarantee you. Father like you, he's gonna be.
Well.
Can I have an estimate of the damage, please?
I also have a police report if you would like to see it.
No, I don't have to see it.
Would you like to see the letter from the police officer that responded to the incident?
No, I would not.
Even it states everything that she stated at the time of the accident.
Listen to me very carefully, sir. I don't have to hear any hearsay or look at any hearsay. It's as simple a case as I would want to try 30 times a day. If she was speeding, that's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is your son's act in picking up a chair and throwing it at her moving car. That he cannot do. And if you don't get it, I can't help you, sir. You've reached this age in your life when you are beyond redemption and beyond help. Say nothing else. The case, as far as you're concerned, is over. She may have done the wrong thing. I am not here to judge that. That is up to the police.
We did that night.
Here's right here.
Put it down. You don't get it.
You just got to making a statement that the police are doing their job. Well, then read what the police did for his job.
I don't know how I can make it any. If your son threw a chair at her car and she lost control of the car and she were killed, he would have been charged with manslaughter. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Do you understand that? Whether she was speeding, whether she was coking up in the car, whether she was drinking, if he threw a chair at her car and her car went out of control and she was killed, you would be visiting him in state's prison. And if you don't get that, I can't do anything about it. You're too old and too thick. How much did it cost you to fix the car?
$932.
Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The damage that they're asking for is not all the damage. Her window was up. How do you damage a seatbelt when the window's up?
I was 6 months pregnant at the time. It could have been much worse, and thank goodness it wasn't.
I was in the wrong, you're right, but I mean, I still believe, what if it was my little cousin?
Operations manager Lorinda Kidd is suing her ex-boyfriend, construction foreman Robert Thorpe Jr., for an insurance deductible and for the value of a collection of NASCAR miniatures.
Order. All rise.
Now, this is case number 412 on the calendar in the matter of Kidd versus Thorpe. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Miss Kidd, you and Mr. Thorpe lived together for 9 years, according to your complaint, and you have a child together.
Yes, ma'am.
Well over a year ago, Mr. Thorpe, according to you, was involved in an accident. He was drunk, and he had a bad accident, and he totaled your car.
Yes, ma'am.
You want him to be responsible for the insurance deductible, which you were ultimately charged. Mr. Thorpe was in the hospital for a substantial period of time after the accident. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
In addition, since you separated shortly after the accident, which was well over a year ago, you say that he took a car collection, not a real car collection, a miniature car collection, that belonged to both of you, and you want half the value of that.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what the case is about. Mr. Thorpe says that for a variety of reasons, you're even. So let's get the facts that we can agree on first. Mr. Thorpe, you were driving the plaintiff's car, you were drunk, you were in an accident, and there was an insurance deductible. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
And what was the deductible?
I believe $440.
Is that right?
No, ma'am, it's $455.
So why shouldn't you pay that?
Well, Your Honor, I have a outstanding cable bill here for $414.39 that I had left in her name after we had separated, and asked her to pay that when she had told me that it was not in her name and that it was not her problem.
When did you separate? What month?
I believe it was November.
And when was that bill?
It was for 4 months after I had moved out.
4 months after?
After I had moved out.
Is that right?
Yes.
Why didn't you pay that bill?
Ma'am, it was for a box that I turned in. I did not bring the paperwork with me. They said I did not turn it in. And I did turn it in. So, and I did pay my last month's bill there.
You have proof that you paid that bill?
Not with me, ma'am. I did not know he was going to counterclaim on this.
You didn't? Well, did he file a counterclaim?
No, ma'am.
How come you didn't file a counterclaim, Mr. Thorpe?
I did not have time, Your Honor.
Well, then that's too bad. Then I'm not going to hear that. Because if she didn't have notice of it, Mr. Thorpe, then what happens is she doesn't have the opportunity to bring her evidence.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, so fine. So $455 is what you owe so far for the insurance deductible. Now, she also says that you owe her additional money for this NASCAR collection. So I'd like you to tell me about that, Miss Kidd.
Well, we've acquired this NASCAR collection. What had happened is on his 30th birthday, I had planned a surprise party for him, and I had bought him one. And after that, that's when we started to collect them. I wasn't really into it at first, but with us being together, I got into it more and more. And whenever we went shopping, we'd pick cars that both of us would, whether it be at the local Walmart or at the race.
So when he left, he took the collection?
Yes, ma'am.
You were together for 9 years. When the two of you separated, Miss Kidd, what else did he take with him?
Well, he took a pool table, a pickup truck that we had bought together, a fishing boat, a stereo receiver, DVD player, a theater system, like the surround sound system, tools, and miscellaneous videos and DVDs.
And what did he leave? Let me go through this, because you're going to probably say he didn't leave much. Did he leave the living room furniture?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he leave the bedroom furniture?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he leave your daughter's furniture?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he leave the kitchen furniture?
Yes.
Did he leave the washer dryer?
Yes, ma'am.
So he left a lot of stuff. He left more stuff than he took. Is that a fair statement?
Correct.
He left, really, it sounds to me, like he left you in a situation where you would be comfortable with your child.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
You didn't expect him to walk out of a 9-year relationship with nothing.
No, ma'am, and I didn't. And I explained that to him. But the items I have, they're not like items that we had, they're not new. A lot of these things we bought, like the NASCAR collection, that didn't start within when we first started dating.
What difference does it make?
Well, I'm just saying.
The difference is,
right,
Miss Kidd, is that wherever Mr. Thorpe went, and I don't know where he went after he left, where did you go?
I'm living with my mother at the time, Your Honor.
Okay. But if he had to go and start to furnish an apartment, he would need a living room set, and a bedroom set, and a place for his daughter to come and spend time with him. And he'd need a kitchen table, and he'd need a washer dryer, which means he'd have to go out and buy that stuff. What makes you think you're entitled to this NASCAR set?
Because when he moved out, he wasn't he really wasn't keeping up on his child support.
That's a different story.
He's been behind on, I know it is, he's been behind on his child support. I like to keep extra money in the bank, so if something, I have Crohn's disease. And if I have to go to the hospital, I'm not there for overnight, I'm there for at least 3 to 5 days because they have to run tests on me. And so I like to try to have a little bit of spare money in the bank, so if I have to pay rent, I will have enough money there.
Is he currently paying child support?
Yes, ma'am. But he's $2,000 plus in the rears.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I want a nice truck to drive too. I also have a truck payment, but I also pay rent for our daughter to live somewhere.
Good. That's so you're a parent.
And later today,
you know, the first was the next day. Had to move out.
Did she tell you that?
You know, she called me stupid and everything.
Just a second, Mr. Pulley.
He was on drugs. So.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lorinda Kidd says ex-boyfriend Robert Thorpe Jr. owes for an insurance deductible and for the value of a collection of NASCAR miniatures.
How much do you pay every month, sir?
$670 a month.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a construction.
Okay, so you fell a little behind, but he owes $2,000?
Well, Your Honor.
But he pays almost $700.
Correct, Your Honor, but also he went out and got a brand new truck, at least a brand new truck, and that was one of his complaints as to why he could not give me as much child support before he went to court, because he had his truck payment, which I understand. I want a nice truck to drive too. I also have a truck payment, but I also pay rent for our daughter to live somewhere. I pay gas, I pay water.
That's so you're a parent. He owes you $455, and that's for the deductible that you had to pay when he was in an accident with your car. But as far as property is concerned, when people decide to get married so that courts have the opportunity of deciding what equitably belongs to each party, that's what we have courts for. We do not have courts for people who live together. They lived together for 9 years. You kept some stuff, he kept some stuff, and I'm not getting involved. Thank you very much. This case is over.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm glad that I walked away not losing anything, really.
I think I got cheated. I should have deserved half of that NASCAR collection because I paid for half of it.
I'd like to get along with her and see my child.
Well, he's welcome to see his daughter anytime. He just doesn't come around.
I'm just glad it's over and like to move on.
18-year-old Victoria Cahoot and her friend, bartender Alicia James, are suing Victoria's father, retired Army Captain David Cahoot, for the cost of living expenses. David says Victoria is living with Alicia without his permission.
Order. All rise. This is case number 503 on the calendar in the matter of James Cahoot versus Cahoot. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Victoria, this is your father.
Yes.
Is that right? And Miss James, Victoria has been living in your house for the past 18 months?
Yeah, 19 now, I think.
Your lawsuit seeks support from Victoria's father for her over the last 18 months. The defendant says that his door has always been open to his daughter. She can come back and live with him whenever she wants to. And he provides for medical coverage for her. Some other things I assume that he's going to tell me, and he has no intention of paying you for support because his daughter should be living at his house. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Victoria, how old were you when you left home?
15 and a half, maybe 16.
And where did you go?
My friend Amanda's house in Grants Pass, and I lived there for about a month, and then I moved in with Perry. And I lived there for about 4 months, and then I moved in with Alicia James.
Why did you leave home?
My dad was abusive. He was always drunk, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. He would throw me out of the house and kick me out. He kicked me out and said that he didn't want me living in his house anymore.
What did you have to fight about? You had to fight about something?
Everything. My friends, school, me going out, everything.
Your parents are divorced, is that right?
Yes.
How long have your parents been divorced?
Since I was 1.
And were you always in the custody of your father?
No, I lived with my mother, and then at age 4, my dad had temporary custody for I think about 4 months. And then I moved back in with my mother, and I moved out when I was almost 13 and moved to Oregon to be with my father.
So what prompted you to move in with your father when you were 13?
I never really lived with him. I wanted to know what he was like.
You have siblings?
Yes, one brother.
How old?
23.
Now, when you left the first time and you went to your friend Amanda's house, did you stay in contact with your father?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You knew she was living with Amanda?
I knew she was living somewhere, and I just wanted to make sure she was safe, so...
Did you know she was living with Amanda?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you take any steps to have your daughter return to your house, legal steps at that time? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
What did you do?
I called the local police and had her listed as a runaway.
No, that doesn't try to get her back. All that does is cover you behind. When you try to get her back, you say, I want my daughter back. And you go to court, and you bring Amanda's parents to court, and you say, listen, you're interfering with my parental responsibility and my parental rights to have my daughter living with me. I want this thing resolved. And reporting a child as a runaway when you know where she lives is ridiculous. All right, now the next place she went to the... Did you tell your father where you were when you were at the... You were there for 4 months?
Yes.
Now, Miss James, what prompted you to allow this young lady to come and move into your house?
Perry had asked me if I could take the older two, which would have been Vicki and Karen, with the younger two, my daughter and his daughter, all take them shopping for school. And I said, yeah. So we took them all. I took them all. The girls got in an altercation, and Vicki could no longer stay with them. So I asked Vicki, I says, well, what are you going to do? She goes, I don't know. I don't have a place to go. And I says, well, you can't stay with me unless I talk to your father. So she agreed to that, and immediately, right then, after the altercation, and she found out she couldn't be there, I went over to Mr. Cahoot's house. And I asked him the situation that was going on between him and his daughter, you know, told him what had happened. He told me under no circumstance was his daughter going to live with him, that he was not allowing her back in the home.
Why?
He told me that she was out of control, so on and so forth. Just, you know, basically a bad kid. I said, well, I don't know what to do here. I said that I agreed that she could stay with me. I agreed that she could stay with me, but I couldn't afford to support her because I could barely afford to support myself and my daughter, and that he would have to, you know, help out with food and clothing and, you know, medical and stuff like that. He agreed to do so, and he did. He helped for about the first 3 months.
What did he do for the first 3 months?
He made sure that he bought Vicki a few items of clothing, nothing major to start school with. He helped out with food.
How did he help out with the food? Did he buy food or did he give you money?
He bought food, and he had food at his house, and extra food, and so he would bring it over.
But he didn't give you a set amount of money?
No.
Go ahead.
So anyway, and then on or about September 21st, I had Victoria and her father and me sign an agreement of the rules that we would be living in the home, and I do have a copy of that.
I'd like to see it, please. Would you show this to the defendant and ask him to look at it and tell me if that is his signature, which I have compared to the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That is your signature witnessing, as witness to the agreement between these two ladies, the rules of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
And Vicki has been living with you ever since.
Yes, the agreement, part of the other agreement was, Your Honor, that Victoria's grades would be kept up in school.
Well, that's right here. C's are better.
Yep.
Have you been doing that?
Here's a copy of her grades and an honorable mention in our newspaper for this first quarter's.
How was your daughter doing in school when she was living with you, sir?
Not well. I sent her to another school, and she seems to have done better. I sent her to a lockdown adolescent.
When did you do that?
2000.
Well, evidently that didn't work out either.
It cost $28,000 to get her in there, and I did through all the therapies and everything I could with her. She was out of control. She was listed as a runaway more often than not.
Something wasn't right, sir. But evidently, whatever it was that wasn't right is better now that she's living with the plaintiff.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She she's finally learned her lessons and decided she can't be a thug that smokes, drinks, and stays out with the boys, have sex with the boys in my room, and leaves the evidence behind for me to clean up.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old Victoria Cahoot says her father, David Cahoot, owes for the cost of her living expenses. David says Victoria should be living at home.
Whatever it was, it seems to have been resolved with her living with the plaintiff. Have you seen a copy of your daughter's grades?
Yes, I have, and that's just a recent thing, ma'am.
Recent or not, it appears to me that living with the plaintiff seems to have resolved, at least temporarily and hopefully permanently, the problems that your daughter was having, at least scholastically. Wouldn't you say that that's true, sir?
I would not say that living with her has caused all this to be the success. I think finally it's Victoria that has finally come around, and with all the school that cost me so much, she's finally learned her lessons and decided she can't be a thug that smokes, drinks, and stays out with the boys, have sex with the boys in my room, and leaves the evidence behind for me to clean up.
Sir, usually when children act out very badly, they're trying to make a statement. Now, that's not to say that she should not be responsible for what she does. She is responsible. What I'm looking for you to do is to take responsibility for what you and your ex-wife have done to her. Because if you think that it's a normal arrangement for a child to live with one parent, then go to the other. Go back to one parent, then go to the other. That is not a normal arrangement, sir. And I don't know whether, and I'm certainly not going to get into the fact with you or your daughter, because I think it's counterproductive as to whether what she says is true, that you have an alcohol abuse problem.
No, ma'am, I do not.
Well, I said I'm not getting into that, because just as I don't think it's productive for you to have brought up to me, now with your daughter here, the negatives of her past behavior, so too, sir, do I think that it would be stupid for me to explore whether she was right or wrong in saying that you had a substance abuse problem. Do you understand? And were abusive to her. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the only issue that I have to resolve in this case is whether your daughter was living with Mrs. James with your permission. Your answer says she was not living there with your permission, that your home was always open to her.
Yes, ma'am.
And therefore, you are not liable for her support. The contract that you witnessed in October of 2001, which outlined the rules for your daughter remaining in Mrs. James's home, is testament to the fact that your daughter was living there with your permission and approval. That being the case, sir, you are responsible for her support. Period. End of discussion. The only issue is how much. Put your hand down, madam. Do you get support for your daughter from her mother?
No longer, ma'am.
When did it stop?
On her 18th birthday.
Which was when?
18 February.
So from the time she came to Mrs. James's home for the last 19 months, or 18 months, you were getting support from Vicky's mother for her. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
In what amount?
$275 a month.
What were you doing collecting support for her when she wasn't living with you?
I maintain a home for her.
No, sir. I'm already telling you. You permitted her to live with Mrs. James with your not only tacit approval, with your active approval in witnessing this agreement. You said, keep her. She's too much trouble for me. I'm giving you my permission to keep her. I'm witnessing the agreement that you two are signing to permit her to live in your house. That doesn't mean she's living there without your permission. Your door is open. You may have spoken to a lawyer who said to you, listen, as long as you can convince a judge that your door is always open and that all she has to do is abide by your rules, you're not responsible for her support. That's not the case here, sir. She lived outside your home with your permission, and you're responsible for her support. Not only that, would you be responsible for her support, but you're getting support from her mother for her and keeping it. You can't do that. $4,950 so far. Next, did you claim her on your tax returns last year?
Yes, ma'am.
She wasn't living with you for the full year.
She was living with me 6 months.
So you took advantage of her status as a minor child without any of the downside, which means that you kept her mother's money, the $275, you claimed her on your tax returns. You didn't do the right thing, sir.
And I provided the medical for her, which is not inexpensive.
Just a second.
I provided medical, and I still
How
do.
much? Just a second. How much does it cost you to provide medical coverage for your daughter?
Because I'm a retired military officer.
Yes.
We get it for the entire family for $460 a quarter, which is full coverage.
Just a second. $460 a quarter for the entire family. That's you and who else?
Her.
$1,840 a year. Now, what is an individual plan?
They charge me $90 for a quarter.
Show me.
I don't think I have that down here. I just have where I have her own here. And I have my medical bills I spent during that time on her.
Good.
Because I did cover her.
Good.
The bills where I covered her, you would like to see them, ma'am?
No. Did you spend more than $5,000?
A year? No, ma'am.
No.
Close to, well, a year. With Victoria and all, it was about $800 for a year. Total.
$800 you spent.
Plus, ma'am, earlier though, on this, when I had sent her this this adolescent treatment team there in Reno, which she was diagnosed with oppositional defiance disorder, and a very big handful, and I did my best, Your Honor, to do what I could to. I went to family psychology meetings with her, and everything. She asked me to quit my job. I did.
Listen to me, sir. What I'm saying to you is your daughter seems to be doing fine. And what I'm saying to you is, we're talking about money. And so far, your ex-wife contributed to you almost $5,000 in support for your daughter who wasn't living with you. Now, let us assume that each of you have a 50% responsibility to support your child. That means you would pay $5,000 and your ex-wife would pay $5,000. And so far, you've told me that in a year, you spent $800 on your daughter, which, even if you had no obligation to pay support for her, which you do, still leaves $3,500 that you wound up in profit. Profit. From what your ex-wife sent to you for the support of your child that you didn't turn over to her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I paid $200 a month to have someone pick Victoria up while I was working for the post office to take her into school every day, and I picked her up when I got off work in the middle of my night, so to speak, because I work nights at there. She requested that. She said, Dad, everything will be great if you quit your job.
You're talking about when she was living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't care when she was living with you. That's what you do. You're her parent. You do whatever you have to do. I'm talking about between you and a stranger. Did you pick her up, pay $200 a month for somebody else to pick her up from school when she was living with Mrs. James?
She rides the bus.
I'm asking you a question.
No.
I don't care what you spent on her. I don't care if you spent the last dime that you had in the bank. She's your child. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm talking about when she was living with Mrs. James.
Anytime she called me and says, Dad, I need something, she got it.
You took money designated for her by the courts and sent to you by her mother and used it for yourself, sir. That's what you did. That is not permissible. That goes to her. That's for her support, not to divert some of your own expenses.
Ma'am, I was attempting to be a parent, and Ms. James was not allowing me to be a parent.
Then what were you doing signing this
I was
document?
trying to make my child safe. If she's going to run around, I at least want to know where she's at, with whom
then
she's
you
with.
know, then she's there with your permission.
She still has a bedroom there and a bed in there to go
Let me
into
explain something to you. You can't double talk me, sir.
No, ma'am, it's the
You
truth.
can't. No, you're double talking me. You went there. You understood where your daughter was living. It has been a good arrangement for your daughter. Clearly, it has been a good arrangement for her, and your responsibility as a parent is to see to it that your daughter is supported. Now, I'm not even getting into what your individual responsibility would be for her support. But minimally, the money that her mother sent to you, court-ordered, for support, should have gone to Mrs. James. And I'm not belaboring the point, and that's $4,590, sir. That you had no right to take from your daughter. You had no right to take from Mrs. James. You had an obligation to turn it over to her immediately. And if you don't understand that, I'm not spending any more time, wasting my time trying to explain it to you. You had no right to take her money. Period. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,590. That's all. $950. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Miss James has been a scam artist for quite some time now with selling of drugs and selling her body, and I think this is just an extension of that.
He's just angry because he lost, and there's no truth to it. He knows that, I know that.
I was being threatened with murder. They were shooting holes in my trucks. They were calling me, threatening me in the middle of the night to kill me, her boyfriends.
They knew my father was abusive and they didn't like it. They saw what he did to me.
That's the ultimate
Neste vídeo, exploramos dos alertas mais duros e racionais de Charlie Munger, a matemática brutal da dívida. Segundo Munger, poucas coisas destroem tanto a riqueza quanto permitir que os juros compostos.
La mayoría de las personas, al llegar a la vejez, se dan cuenta demasiado tarde de que depositaron su confianza en lo incorrecto durante gran parte de su vida. Quiero empezar con una verdad que puede doler, pero que es necesario escuchar hoy. Música, quienes ya están entrando o se encuentran en la tercera edad, viven una de las etapas más decisivas de música, su existencia. Lo que voy a compartir en este video puede significar la diferencia entre transitar los últimos años con respeto propio, música, bienestar y sentido, o hacerlo desde la frustración y la dependencia. Verán, tras muchos años observando la vida y siendo testigo de cómo tantas personas pasan por este momento, he comprendido algo que casi nadie se atreve a expresar con claridad, y es lo siguiente. La felicidad en la vejez no se sostiene en aquello que la mayoría cree. No depende de los hijos, no depende de que la familia se haga cargo, no depende de que otros vengan a solucionar la vida. Y presten atención porque esto es fundamental. No quiero decir que no puedan apoyarse en su familia ni que sus hijos no los quieran. Lo que les digo es algo más profundo, más realista, más necesario de entender. Música, ahora mismo les digo que no deben contar con que los acaben cuidando. Es diferente, muy diferente. Sus hijos tienen sus propias vidas, sus propias luchas, sus propias batallas. Viven en un mundo que no perdona, que exige todo de ellos. Y ustedes necesitan estar preparados para sostenerse por sí mismos, para vivir con plenitud, sin depender de que alguien más les resuelva la existencia. En este vídeo voy a revelarles las 6 cosas fundamentales en las que deben apoyarse para vivir en paz y felicidad. Y les adelanto algo, hay una al final, la 6ª, que es la más poderosa de todas, la que cambiará completamente su música, perspectiva de la vida. Así que necesito que se queden hasta el final porque esa última revelación vale oro. Antes de continuar, si este contenido les está resonando, si sienten que esto es importante, les pido que se suscriban al Faro Interior y dejen su me gusta. Más abajo pueden ver la opción de abonarse al canal Música con ventajas exclusivas. Pero ahora entremos en materia porque lo que viene, música, puede transformar sus vidas. La primera base, la salud física como templo sagrado. Déjenme preguntarles algo con toda franqueza. ¿Cuántos de ustedes han descuidado su cuerpo creyendo que ya es demasiado tarde para cuidarlo? ¿Cuántos han pensado, ya estoy viejo, ¿para qué me voy a esforzar? Esa forma de pensar es exactamente lo que los llevará a la dependencia más absoluta. Y créanme cuando les digo esto, la peor prisión no tiene barrotes, no tiene muros. La peor prisión es un cuerpo que no responde, que no les permite hacer lo que quieren, música que los convierte en una carga para sí mismos y para otros. Su salud física no es un lujo, no es algo opcional, es la primera y más fundamental base sobre la que deben música construir su felicidad en esta etapa. Y aquí viene algo que quizás nadie les ha explicado con claridad. Cuidar su cuerpo a los 60, 70 u 80 años no es lo mismo que cuidarlo a los 30. Requiere más atención, más dedicación, más conciencia, pero es absolutamente posible. Piensen en su cuerpo como el vehículo que los llevará hasta el final del Música Camino. Si ese vehículo no funciona bien, no importa cuánto dinero tengan, no importa cuánto amor haya en su familia, no podrán disfrutar de nada. Estarán atrapados en el dolor, en la limitación, en música, la frustración constante, pero hay esperanza, hay acciones concretas que pueden tomar ahora mismo sin importar su edad actual, sin importar cuánto hayan descuidado su salud hasta hoy. Lo primero que necesitan entender música es que el movimiento es vida. No estoy hablando de convertirse en atletas, estoy hablando música de caminar 30 minutos cada día, de estirar su cuerpo por las mañanas, de mantener sus articulaciones flexibles. Cada vez que se mueven, cada vez que obligan a su cuerpo a trabajar un poco, están enviando un mensaje poderoso a cada célula. Todavía estamos vivos, todavía funcionamos, todavía servimos. Conozco a muchas personas mayores que dicen, música, es que me duele todo, y tienen razón, les duele. Pero aquí está el música secreto que muchos doctores no enfatizan lo suficiente. El dolor empeora con la inmovilidad. Mientras más se quedan quietos, más rígidos se vuelven, más les duele y más se quedan quietos. Es un círculo vicioso mortal. La alimentación es otro música pilar fundamental que muchos ignoran. A esta edad su cuerpo no procesa la comida como antes. No pueden comer cualquier cosa y esperar sentirse bien. Necesitan nutrición de calidad, no solo llenar el estómago, las frutas, las verduras, las proteínas limpias, música, el agua abundante. Todo esto no es un capricho de nutricionistas modernos, es combustible para su máquina, música para ese cuerpo que todavía tiene mucho que darles. Y aquí viene algo crucial que guardaré para desarrollarlo más adelante, pero que necesitan tener en mente. Su salud física está íntimamente conectada con algo más profundo, con uno de los pilares que veremos al final, el más poderoso de todos. Así que mantengan esto presente. Pero no se trata solo de moverse y comer bien, se trata de revisar su salud regularmente. ¿Cuántas personas he visto que evitan ir al médico por miedo, por pereza, por negación, y cuando finalmente van es demasiado tarde? La prevención no es paranoia, es inteligencia, es amor propio, es responsabilidad con ustedes mismos. Controlen su presión arterial, revisen sus niveles de azúcar, cuiden su corazón, protejan sus huesos. Todo esto música parece obvio, pero la cantidad de personas que lo ignoran es alarmante. Luego música, cuando el cuerpo colapsa, se preguntan por qué la vida es tan dura con ellos. La salud física también incluye el descanso adecuado. No estoy hablando de dormir todo el día, estoy hablando de darle a su cuerpo las horas de sueño que necesita para regenerarse. El insomnio, los patrones de sueño irregulares, todo eso cobra factura. Y a esta edad la factura es más cara que nunca. Hay algo más que quiero que comprendan sobre la salud física. No se trata de vanidad, no se trata de verse bien para los demás, se trata de funcionalidad. Se trata de poder levantarse de la cama sin ayuda, de poder ir al baño por su cuenta, de poder preparar su propia comida, de poder caminar por el parque. Esas pequeñas cosas que dan por sentadas son las que definen su independencia y su dignidad. Cuando su cuerpo funciona razonablemente bien, cuando no están sometidos al dolor constante, cuando pueden moverse con cierta libertad, todo lo demás en la vida se vuelve más llevadero. Los problemas emocionales son más manejables, las preocupaciones financieras no los abruman tanto, las relaciones mejoran porque no están constantemente música irritables por el malestar físico. Y aquí está la parte que muchos no quieren aceptar. Nadie más puede hacer este trabajo por ustedes. Sus hijos no pueden caminar por ustedes. Su pareja no puede comer saludable por ustedes. Los médicos pueden darles pastillas, pero no pueden darles disciplina. Esta responsabilidad es solo suya y asumirla es el primer paso hacia la verdadera libertad en la vejez. Pero recuerden, esto es solo la primera base. Y aunque es fundamental, no es suficiente por sí sola. Hay otras 5 cosas igual de importantes, y una de ellas, la que revelaré al final, tiene el poder de magnificar todo lo demás. Así que quédense conmigo porque cada minuto de este vídeo está diseñado para construir su fortaleza interior. La segunda base, la independencia económica como escudo protector. Ahora viene algo que duele todavía más que hablar de salud. Viene el dinero. Y sé que muchos de ustedes están pensando, ya es tarde para mí, ya no puedo generar más ingresos, música, ya dependo de una pensión miserable o de lo que me dan mis hijos. Pero deténganse un momento y escúchenme con atención. La independencia económica en la vejez no es necesariamente tener mucho dinero, es tener suficiente para no ser una carga, es tener lo necesario para cubrir sus necesidades básicas, sin tener que pedir, sin tener que mendigar, sin tener que sentirse en deuda constante con nadie. ¿Saben cuál es una de las mayores fuentes de amargura en las personas mayores? La dependencia económica, el tener que pedir permiso para gastar en algo que necesitan, el sentirse culpables por existir música, porque representan un gasto para otros, el ver la cara de fastidio de música a sus hijos cuando necesitan algo, eso mata el espíritu más rápido que cualquier enfermedad. Y aquí viene algo que necesitan grabar en su mente. Sus hijos no les deben mantención. Ustedes los criaron, sí. Hicieron su trabajo como padres, sí. Pero eso no genera una deuda automática de música cuidado económico vitalicio. El mundo ha cambiado. Las economías están más difíciles que nunca. Los jóvenes música están luchando por sobrevivir ellos mismos. Esto no significa que sus hijos no los aman. Significa que ustedes no pueden construir su seguridad sobre algo tan frágil e incierto como la capacidad o voluntad económica de otras personas, incluso si son su propia sangre. Entonces, ¿qué pueden hacer? Más de lo que creen, les aseguro. Primero necesitan hacer un inventario honesto de su situación. ¿Cuánto ingreso tienen? ¿Cuánto gastan? ¿En qué gastan? Muchas personas mayores ni siquiera saben exactamente a dónde va su dinero. Se queja de que no les alcanza, pero siguen gastando en cosas innecesarias por pura costumbre. La frugalidad inteligente no es mezquindad, es sabiduría. Es aprender a distinguir entre lo que necesitan y lo que simplemente quieren. Y créanme, a esta altura de la vida, la mayoría de las cosas que creen necesitar son solo deseos condicionados por años de publicidad y comparación social. Pero aquí viene algo importante. Ser frugal no significa vivir música en miseria, significa optimizar cada peso, cada dólar que entra. Significa buscar maneras de estirar sus recursos sin sacrificar calidad de vida. Y ahora les voy a decir algo que muchos consideran radical. Nunca es demasiado tarde para generar algo de ingreso. Sí, escucharon bien. Incluso a los 70-80 años hay formas de contribuir económicamente, de generar algo de dinero extra que mejore su situación. No estoy hablando de trabajos físicos extenuantes. Estoy hablando de usar la experiencia que tienen, de enseñar algo que saben, de ofrecer consejos, de cuidar niños del vecindario por unas horas, de vender algo que hacen con sus manos, de aprovechar cualquier habilidad que posean. Conozco a una señora de 75 años que hace tamales los fines de semana y los vende en su comunidad. No se hace rica, pero ese dinero extra le da independencia, le da opciones, le da dignidad, no tiene que pedir a sus hijos cada vez que necesita algo. La mentalidad de música, ya estoy viejo para trabajar, es una trampa, es una excusa para rendirse. Y cuando se rinden económicamente, se rinden en muchos otros aspectos de la vida también. Otro aspecto crucial de la independencia económica es proteger la música que tienen. ¿Cuántas personas mayores son estafadas porque son demasiado confiadas? ¿Cuántas pierden sus ahorros en esquemas fraudulentos? ¿Cuántas son manipuladas por familiares inescrúpulos? Música que ven en ellos una fuente de extracción económica. Necesitan ser astutos, necesitan proteger sus recursos como el tesoro que son. Y si tienen propiedades, si tienen ahorros, si tienen algo de valor, necesitan tener claridad legal, sobre todo testamentos, documentos en orden, protección contra abusos, porque aquí está la verdad cruda. El dinero no compra la felicidad, pero la falta de dinero genera una miseria muy concreta, genera estrés, genera conflictos, genera dependencia, y la dependencia, especialmente económica, es veneno para el espíritu. Pero hay algo más profundo aquí. algo que conecta con ese pilar final del que les música hablé al principio. La independencia económica no es solo tener recursos materiales, es tener la tranquilidad mental que viene de saber que pueden sostenerse. Y esa tranquilidad mental es fundamental para acceder a esa verdad más grande que les revelaré al final de este vídeo. Ahora, sé que algunos de ustedes están pensando, música, esto no me aplica, ya no tengo forma de mejorar mi situación económica. Y si están pensando eso, presten atención a lo que viene a continuación, porque las siguientes bases compensarán en gran medida las debilidades económicas que puedan tener. La tercera base, la red social como tejido de contención. Aquí viene algo que la mayoría entiende mal. Cuando hablo de red social no estoy hablando de Facebook o Instagram, estoy hablando de las conexiones música humana reales, de las amistades genuinas, de la comunidad, de ese tejido invisible, pero poderoso de relaciones que pueden sostenerlos cuando todo lo demás tambalea. Y déjenme decirles algo que observo música constantemente. Muchas personas mayores están profundamente solas, no físicamente solas, tienen familia alrededor, pero están emocionalmente aisladas. No tienen con música a quien hablar de verdad, no tienen amigos reales, no tienen una comunidad que los música contenga. ¿Y saben por qué pasa esto? Porque durante toda su vida adulta estuvieron demasiado ocupados, trabajando, criando hijos, resolviendo problemas, y fueron posponiendo las amistades, fueron dejando ir las relaciones, fueron encerrándose en su pequeño círculo familiar. Y ahora en la vejez, cuando más necesitan esas conexiones, descubren música que no las tienen. Pero aquí está lo importante, todavía hay tiempo, todavía pueden construir esa red, todavía pueden tejer esos lazos que los sostendrán. Las amistades en la vejez son diferentes a las de la juventud, son más auténticas, porque música ya no hay tiempo para superficialidades, ya no hay espacio para competencias tontas, ya no importa quién tiene más, quién logró más, lo que importa es la compañía, el entendimiento, la solidaridad. Pero construir amistades a esta edad requiere esfuerzo, requiere salir de su zona de confort, requiere abrirse a nuevas personas. Y sé que es difícil, sé que da miedo, música, sé que muchos de ustedes son tímidos o han sido lastimados en el pasado, pero la alternativa es la soledad, y la soledad mata más rápido música que muchas enfermedades. ¿Dónde pueden encontrar estas conexiones? En todas partes, si están dispuestos a buscar, en los centros comunitarios, en las iglesias o centros espirituales, en los clubes de actividades, en los parques donde se reúne gente de su edad, en las música, clases de alguna actividad que les interese. Recuerdo a un señor que conocí hace años, había enviudado a los 68 y cayó en una depresión terrible. No tenía amigos porque toda su vida social había girado alrededor de su esposa. Sus hijos vivían lejos, estaba completamente música solo, pero un día decidió ir a un club de ajedrez en su comunidad. No sabía jugar bien, pero fue música y allí encontró un grupo de hombres en situaciones similares. Hicieron amistad, empezaron a verse regularmente. Ese hombre me dijo años después que ese grupo le salvó la vida literalmente. Las amistades de la vejez tienen algo hermoso, la reciprocidad del entendimiento. Todos están pasando por cosas similares, todos enfrentan los mismos miedos, todos lidian música con las mismas pérdidas. Hay una solidaridad natural que surge de compartir la misma etapa de vida, pero hay algo más en esta red social que va más allá de las amistades personales. Está la comunidad, en sentido amplio, estar involucrados en algo más grande que ustedes música mismos. Ser parte de un grupo que trabaja por algo, un club, una asociación, un voluntariado, algo que les dé propósito, música y los conecte con otros. Porque aquí viene una verdad profunda. Los seres humanos necesitamos sentirnos música parte de algo. Necesitamos pertenecer. Y en la vejez, cuando muchos roles se han perdido, cuando ya no son empleados activos, cuando los hijos crecieron y se fueron, esa necesidad de pertenencia se vuelve aún más crítica. Participar en actividades comunitarias, música, ayudar a otros, ser útiles de alguna manera. Todo esto alimenta el espíritu de maneras que no pueden imaginar. Les da razones para levantarse, les da música, temas de conversación, les da una identidad más allá del abuelo o la abuela. Y aquí está algo que conecta con ese pilar final del que sigo hablando. Las relaciones humanas genuinas, cuando son nutritivas, música cuando son auténticas, abren la puerta a esa dimensión más profunda de la existencia que exploraremos al final. Así que todo esto que están construyendo no es solo para sentirse menos solos, es preparación para algo mayor. Pero ojo, y esto es importante, no estoy diciendo que se rodeen de cualquier persona. La calidad importa más que la cantidad. Una amistad genuina vale más que 100 conocidos superficiales. Y hay que tener cuidado con las relaciones tóxicas, con las personas que drenan energía, con los amigos que solo buscan beneficios. Aprendan a discernir. A esta edad deberían tener suficiente experiencia para reconocer a las buenas personas. Rodéense de quienes los música elevan, no de quienes los hunden, de quienes los inspiran, no de quienes solo se quejan, de quienes tienen una actitud positiva ante la vida a pesar de las dificultades. Y no olviden algo fundamental, ustedes también tienen que ser buenos amigos. Las relaciones son bidireccionales, no pueden solo recibir, tienen que dar, tienen que estar disponibles, tienen que ser confiables, tienen que aportar valor a la vida de los demás también. La generosidad emocional en la vejez es una virtud preciosa. Escuchar genuinamente, ofrecer palabras de aliento, compartir sabiduría sin imponer, estar presentes, todo esto hace que otros quieran estar cerca de música a ustedes, que valoren su amistad, que los incluyan en sus vidas. Pero hay un nivel más profundo de esta red social que muchos pasan por alto, la relación con las generaciones más jóvenes fuera de su familia. Los jóvenes necesitan la sabiduría de los mayores y los mayores necesitan la energía y frescura de los jóvenes. Esa conexión intergeneracional es mutuamente enriquecedora. Pueden ser mentores informales de jóvenes en su comunidad, pueden compartir sus experiencias, pueden ofrecer consejos cuando se los pidan, pueden ser esa figura de sabiduría